And we're live here on the Movie Hero Network, the Lonely Marks Wrestling Podcast. I am Austin Pez Howell. Jacob Barber will be along very, very shortly. But we got the other Lonely Marks here with me. JPO, Jordan Owens. How's it going, sir? Happy WrestleMania weekend that we'll be talking about here.
Wait, what? What happened? No, I was saying,
Okay.
a lot of wrestling.
This thing, yeah, just this little thing. A few minor
notes. I think it's be fun to talk about what went down, and let's get to it.
Yeah, for sure. Richie Goodacre, welcome, sir. How's it going?
What's up? Yeah, no, can't wait to talk about the biggest event in on the weekend, the clusterfuck battle royal.
Battle royal.
No, good. Yeah, happy to talk about it. Lots to talk about, and I'm happy to get into it.
Yeah, for sure. We'll get into a little bit of things here as we get going. Hey, Jonathan, how's it going? Good to tune in. We'll get to WrestleMania 40. Obviously, there's a lot to talk about coming out of that show, and we'll be going kind of match by match and really breaking down the whole thing. But we figure before we jump into that, we'll just jump into a few of the tidbits of things that people are talking about. Obviously, sort of the most pressing thing people are talking about is the AEW footage that was released. It's making the rounds on the internets and whatnot. Even if you didn't see Dynamite, it's already made the rounds on Reddit and Facebook and X and
they are trying their best though to take it down. But yeah,
I saw it on Reddit. All the different wrestling pages I'm on Reddit already had it.
Sure, when I say their best,
I've seen people already editing it. I've seen people editing it with Punk's words over it from the interview.
Yeah, I was trying to watch that earlier and I got distracted.
But I've seen that as well. We could talk about that a little bit and get your thoughts. Yeah, obviously they released kind of this footage from Wembley, the backstage stuff between CM Punk and Jack Perry, and sort of what he talked about, what Punk did in the MMA hour. And like I said, I even saw videos of people overlaying that over the video, and it pretty much matches up right as he said. Not much else going on, as much as people were speculating. Oh, it's going to prove that it's a completely different thing than what it is. No, it was pretty much exactly went down. Almost exactly how he said it. But JPO, I'm sure you watched it. Have you watched Dynamite yet fully or just the footage in context of the show?
Did. I had a mini AEW marathon because I also ignored Collision and Rampage to watch Mania stuff. But no, I had to look at mini AEW marathon yesterday. So I caught up on everything, including Dynamite itself here. And you see Punk approach Perry. There's no audio here. You see people in the background. I love how Hook doesn't do a goddamn thing. Hook just kind of chills like Hook should. He's in character 24/7. Doesn't move. Joe kind of gets involved. You can see Chris Hero even actually gets involved. Hero kind of pulls Punk back here. I think you see Jared Lynn in the footage. If you look at it, Malachi Black towards the end, you kind of really do kind of see even where Punk yells at Tony. You can kind of see Tony's head pop out for a quick second here, which I guess that was the I feared for my life moment, evidently, for Tony. Was Punk yelling at him?
Those monitors those monitors can get heavy. It could have fallen and bumped him on the head slightly. Maybe. I mean,
like a pretty basic scrap. Again, there's no audio. We don't know exactly what was said here. I know some have speculated. Our friend Malcolm was speculated, there's no audio, huh? I'm I believe that there's no audio from a security camera far away, which probably, if there was audio, it was probably all loud noises, and because it's not meant for great audio. No one was mic'd
It's not gonna get a close up and it's not like they had microphones on them, when they did it.
I believe the audio was either useless or just non-existent too, because not all security cameras have audio.
No. A lot of CCTV in London and England in general does not have audio. It's just like cameras. They're just there to record if something happens. Yeah.
I do find AEW's has, and I love AEW. I love both companies. I'm the kind of guy I want both of them to succeed. I never relish in, look at these photos. AEW's got no one in the crowd. I don't relish in that. I don't relish when WWE fucks up. But it is pretty petty. I feel AEW recently. You had Edge a couple weeks ago. I was legit confused when Edge started, I know there's been this word and that word. Well, I love this roster. I was like, wait, what? What happened? He got Will Ospreay last night mentioning Triple H and Steph, which is off of the media scrum. And I'm like, I don't know. Save that for a scrum then. For saving it for Dynamite seemed out of nowhere because I forgot Triple H even kind of said something. It just seems very petty that they're devoting this much time on their main shows to these little quibbles that people are making on podcasts and scrums and everything here. And I don't see how this footage helps anybody. Does this sell a single ticket for Dynasty? Is anyone more excited about Bucks and FTR? Not really. It honestly makes me want to see more CM Punk.
Yeah, no, I feel like CM Punk is the guy who somebody was even putting in the match results in one of their reports. It was like Adam Copeland defeated Penta, CM Punk defeated Jack Perry, blah, blah, blah. And it's just because it was like,
oh wait, do I have to add that to the results? Hold on.
Yeah, just added the results.
I didn't time that one.
Yeah, I think it was maybe like 16 seconds or something, whatever it was. No, I'm in agreement with you. I think I don't understand how they benefit from this footage because again, CM Punk told the truth about exactly what happened. The footage came out; it's exactly what happened.
Storyline wise, it was kind of a weird explanation of like we hate them so much, and this is their friend. Like I don't even know why this even made sense storyline wise.
Yeah,
they tried to tenuously link it into the thing with FTR.
They did, right?
They were like, we were distracted, and that's why we lost to FTR, and also FTR might have set it up. And it's like you're trying to find a reason to shoot that in, and then FTR comes out and it comes out. It's like we need to get over this. I'm like, yes, you as a company need to stop like whinging
past this. No, and it's like even the other people that were like, CM Punk should have faced consequences. He did. He was fired. He works for the other company now. Like what? So what else do you want there to do? Like, yeah, it's weird. I don't understand the benefit of this. Even trying to spin in a storyline. This feels very Russo-y when he was doing like behind the scenes stuff. In WCW in 2000. With like. Only some people are going to get this. Your casual fan who doesn't watch every scrum or read everything on the internet or listen to the Ariel Helwani show, like, is not going to know what the hell you're talking about. Like, there's going to be people that are going, I know Punk works for the other company, but okay, he doesn't work for AEW anymore. So what is this? It's just weird. But Richie, any other thoughts?
I've got about an 8 second fight.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, before we pull apart.
From actual physicality, not just talking.
Sure.
Actual physicality, about 7 seconds.
Basically a squash match. Yeah. All right.
I just you're gonna give him none of offense.
No, one move. It's like the Rock's Wrestlemania match. Rock bottom up him.
He rolled him.
Yeah. If you're a company, right, that like unfortunately, obviously CM Punk kind of. Obviously he was. I feel like he needed to go. It wasn't working out. But like, if you're a company though that has a lot of drama, and CM Punk was a catalyst for a lot of it, but like another guy suspended, Sammy Guevara, is catalyst for a lot of drama. But like, if you have a company for a lot of drama, you want to do your best to steer away from it, and they seem to like want to, invite it all the time. Like just like okay, you can. Maybe acknowledge something happened on the scrum or even fucking X or whatever. I don't know. Just like I want to watch a good wrestling show. Just put on a good wrestling show. I don't need Adam Copeland coming out and go, I'm sick of the negativity. I'm sick. And then Adam Copeland going, this is the best company I've ever worked for. I don't believe you, by the way. You've been there for like you've been there for. You only been there a year yet. I don't believe you. And I just like, no one knows what you're talking about. And you're giving publicity. People are like, I don't know what he's talking about. Let's check it out. What he's talking about. The footage was nothing. It just it reminds me of like when, WCW used to give away WWE results, but it was never to benefit WCW. It would just always benefit WWE because WWE would during that time would rarely. I was only with an odd occasion, but they would kind of just get on with their show. They wouldn't worry about what the company was doing, and I feel like it's just I think WWE in general throughout the history just lives rent free in their heads, just like look, and I know like it's just it doesn't make. It's just you want to release the footage. I don't get it. It doesn't make Tony Khan look good because what is he talking about with like the fearing for your life? I'm guessing there's other parts of that he can't show, but like people are expecting that he would see that bit, so it makes Tony Khan look like just like I don't know
Well,
why
it makes Tony Khan look like the non-boss that Punk said he was, because he's standing right there. Two of these guys are verbally going at it right in front of you. Everybody's just standing around and ignoring it. If that had happened at Gorilla Position in WWE with Triple H, that it wouldn't have gotten to a scruff. Like they would have broken up before anything even started. I can almost guarantee Triple H wouldn't put up with that shit. Like he would have squashed it. And Tony just stood there and let the wrestlers break it up, and then didn't interfere, didn't do anything, and then apparently still didn't do anything afterwards. They just went out and had their, they went off. Jerry Lynn talked to them in the room, and then they went out and had their match. Because remember, Punk and Joe had their match right after that.
Right after that.
Yeah,
and it's like, and
there's even a nice photo too of them all taking a photo. As Punk and Lynn, Joe, and the ref, literally after the match.
And then like on top of all this, right? Okay, I understand. Like Triple H said something on the Pat McAfee thing, where about if people don't want to basically embrace the grind or like having a full schedule, he doesn't want them, which I think is a bit mean. Whatever, it's a bit short sighted, but I think he's asked a question where it's like, and he wants to stick up for the company. Whatever, it's a WWE. It's a corporate sort of line. I think you probably should have said something else. And obviously, it was probably, it could be a shot at Will Ospreay as well because he was dealing with them. But if you want to have a shot at Triple H, do it on X or do it on whatever. I mean, it's like, and don't do it on the same show that this footage aired. It's just weird.
Doubling down on slightly pettiness. Yeah.
I'm just like, stop talking about the other company. Just put on stop
And it was kind of a pretty talkative Dynamite too. We had 5 matches. One of them was an Okada squash for a minute. So really, we had 4 actual watchable matches. And usually Dynamite tracks to 5 to 6 decent matches. So it was also kind of a talky Dynamite.
But people are like, well, they're in the right to kind of defend themselves because WWE and CM Punk were talking down to them on their weekend. I'm like, I don't know. I guess so, but don't be insecure. Just the best way to kind of defend, just put on a good show.
The best way to come back from that would be to put on the best Dynamite you've ever had, and then lead into Dynasty and put on the best pay-per-view you've ever had. And make that an effort to get as many people as possible to watch your show and put on a great show. That would be the best way to fight back.
I'm very curious about ratings next week because I know it went up a little bit this week because people were kind of interested. It did get people watching and talking, but again, I don't know if we got to talk in a good way or a bad way. I know personally there's a couple people I've seen that went, this really put me off. So
it's just
I'm interested next week.
Whiny victims, and just no, you should just kind of, I don't know. There was no benefit to this footage of it being don't don't talk about it. This CM Punk's he only talked about it because he was interviewed about it. He's probably not going to talk about it again. Just don't mention it's just never going to be a part of your brain. Just don't mention it again and go on, create good storylines, because at the moment WWE beating you in that and better storylines. They've been but you've got a great roster, create good storylines. That's all I want.
Yeah, I saw some of that as well. The live crowd was just started chanting CM Punk after the footage. So, Punk comes out looking the best out of this because again, whether or not, I mean, it's fine if you don't think he should have, shoved Perry and choked him or whatever. But again, he told the truth about it. He didn't lie, he just said that's what happened. It's unfortunate that it happened, but it happened. Whatever. And I moved on with my life. It's silly. But yeah, now he's gone. But he's living kind of rent free with AEW right now, and Tony can't move past it. Just run your show, bro. Run your show, dude. Just keep moving. But that's what we're doing now. So I mean, it's not much to say. Yeah, we'll see if it popped the rating or not. Like JPO said, if it did anything, or especially the rating next week too. Does it stick? If it pops, does it stick?
No, I believe it's been proven that it popped it a little bit this week already. But yeah, like I said, I'm interested in next week to see if they keep that people, and then also too, or if even worse, they lose the usual people.
Right? Yeah, they just go back to where they were before. Yeah. So
I was gonna wait for Jack Perry's return because that's gonna be fucking imminent, right?
Yeah.
Yes, he hasn't been on TV since then, right? So
he's been
He's done New Japan.
He's been
using his nickname Scapegoat.
There's no real reason that he. I mean, like I get what he did in Japan, but like if you really believe he's like, I mean, if they truly believe like, again, that he's like almost like the victim in all this too, like they wouldn't have kept him off. They've kept him off like AEW TV for 7 months. Like, you could have put him back early.
Yeah.
You know what I'm afraid of is, I feel like his return now is imminent. We're gonna hear even more about Punk soon. Like, I'm afraid Perry's gonna come out and be like, "Let me tell you more about what happened with me."
I've got more footage.
Yeah.
Like, shut up.
I don't think there is any more footage, but yeah.
No, he's gonna come out and cut a promo about it and dance around it, and say whatever. Yeah, just cut a promo about it. It's gonna be weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, so let's talk a little bit about the WrestleMania weekend in general. And we mentioned all this beforehand. We can talk about it before we get into Mania. If you guys saw any other matches throughout the weekend, it was a big weekend of wrestling just in general. Lots of indie shows going on. A lot of shows on the Triller TV app. You had House of Glory. You had some GCW. You had some Stardom, all kinds of stuff going on, DDT, all kinds of stuff happening. There was a ECW reunion show. There was the WrestleCon show. There was obviously NXT Stand and Deliver.
You needed Triller. You needed High Spots. You needed Title Match. You needed Peacock. That's what you needed. YouTube. Well, that one's free.
Yes. If you wanted to see it all, it was a lot to watch. But yeah, Stand and Deliver, we had the Hall of Fame. Do you guys want to recommend? We don't have to obviously go through every single show, but any highlights that you would recommend?
Mine would be pretty brief. Yeah. Mine would be actually, there's a 6th, the Ring of Honor app. That's what I'll briefly mention here. They had their annual Supercard of Honor here. It's become kind of a tradition for Ring of Honor to run that weekend. I've done it in the past, actually, for Supercard of Honor that had like Nigel McGuinness was on it, Seth Rollins, Tyler Black against the Briscoes, actually, him and Jimmy Jacobs. But anyway, so this year, kind of the big takeaway, good card, not the best built from TV. You know what I mean? The 6-man tag champions finally popped up and defended against a random team and stuff like that. Hey, Jacob. But finally, the big note of the night was happy birthday
to you. Happy birthday to you. No?
Happy birthday, dear Barber. Happy birthday to you. How old are you now? No, I'm saying. The big takeaway, though, is Mark Briscoe completing his story, if you will. Get it? The story joke. Defeating Eddie Kingston for the Ring of Honor World title. Eddie Kingston now does he have the New Japan Strong title still? He's down to one title.
Yeah, he does, but I don't think
So Mark Briscoe is winning the title, and really cool, too, like literally to the date of Jay's first title win, which was on April 5th as well, I want to say, something like that. So that's a really cool moment here. And again, kind of like Cody, several roster members coming out, like even people breaking kayfabe, like Matt Taven and Mike Bennett came out, to celebrate here. Jay Lethal wasn't even on the card, celebrating, lifted Mark on his shoulders, his family, Papa Briscoe, who's actually fought in the past, kids and stuff like that, nieces, nephews. So it was a really cool moment here. That's the one I wanted to shout out here. Good match here. Yeah, good card. Again, it's with the Ring of Honor app, so if you want to catch up a little bit on TV or see that show, it's just $10. And but yeah, lots of fun stuff. GCW, Stand and Deliver. Anyone else?
Yeah, there's not really that was probably the thing I was going to cover because I ended up watching.
Nitrogen.
So there's probably just to put about curtain. Me and Jordan started watching it. Then we had tournament fights, and then I didn't get back to watching.
I watched Bloodsport. I can talk about that when we get there.
I saw all of that.
I watched it. Yeah, I watched it.
I guess probably Stand and Deliver. I watched the whole show. Pretty much the highlights are those 2 matches. It's probably worth noting too. I mean, the first match is I was
gonna say let people know which 2.
The first opening 2 matches.
I would say the opening 2 matches, the ones I saw as well, like the opening, the Braun Breaker, Baron Corbin tag title match, and then the what I called the meat madness of the weekend, Josh Bridge and Dijak and
was it
Omofemi?
Omofemi, yeah. But
for those that didn't watch, or was it Axel and Nathan Frazier for the tag?
Yeah. And I don't know if you should mention it, but they have a rematch on TV. And
the tag titles. Yeah.
And
would you want that at the bigger show?
Nathan Frazier and Axiom win the titles. So I would say so. Yes.
Pull the trigger on Saturday? I don't know. I don't totally get it.
I don't know. I'm
you gotta give Baron Corbin one last big takeover.
I mean, I guess to play the devil's advocate, and to my own question, I guess you could say leave them on the bigger show as looking strong because now Braun's moving on and maybe Baron moving on. I guess.
I knew their title reign was numbered just because they want Braun on the on the main roster fully. But
just signed a contract. Yeah, they got to take the title off him.
Yeah. So, but yeah, no, it's a really good match. Good. Yeah, it's good chemistry. But yeah, I think the triple threat match is probably the best. Especially that. Yeah, I think Obi Femi is really catching on. He's probably one of the better, best, sort of that program they've got where they sign people who are outside of wrestling, which is always a bit weird. But he's probably the one that's really catching on here. That electric chair spot where that was amazing. He's
well, it was the thing he was carrying both guys on his shoulders while Dijak still had Briggs in a Death Valley driver and then dropped them, so it was a DVD and kind of an electric chair at the same time. But that dude was carrying both those guys around the ring, and not just holding them and then immediately dropping them, walked to the center of the ring and then did it. That was pretty damn good.
That was nuts. Yeah. But yeah. So he looked really good. He was made to look really good. Yeah. I will say, I give him a lot of shit, but the Ilya Dragunov Tony D'Angelo match is good. I think it's Ilya Dragunov just drags people into a fight, and it was a fight. It was good. It was a good match. It was a good fight. Obviously I'm not totally sold on Tony D'Angelo, but he did good here. Also like Raw, Ilya kind of almost basically. His call-up is imminent as well. He was on Raw. He beat Shinsuke.
Well, no, they straight up said he's in the draft pool. So
we should say they set up a draft is imminent in the next couple of weeks, so they're going to be doing a draft, and I'm sure some of those guys, Braun Breaker and Ilya, will be drafted and then full time.
No, they even said pretty specifically Ilya will be in the pool
in the draft.
Right. Well, they didn't quite confirm that for Roxanne or anyone, but they said
this week, Roxanne beat Roxanne's new women's champion. She beat Valkyria. But this week on NXT, Roxanne was mentioned in the draft pretty heavily about being in the draft. So I'd guess it's weird because obviously I think Roxanne is ready for the main roster, but also I thought they're giving her the title run because she had that title run was cut short because of injury last time. So I thought, she's going to get a big title run. Evidently, maybe not because it's probably still going to be a short one.
What?
I don't know what you mean, John.
Paul Heyman.
You mean Paul Heyman? Maybe.
Maybe, but maybe if Roman takes a break, but I don't know. He's still with Roman. So I don't. Why?
Where has that ever been discussed or hinted at?
Unless they've got to do it would be weird if they did. Yeah, they need to do a Roman Paul Heyman split in order for that to kind of.
Yeah, because I know he's a fan of him. Yeah, but I don't see him breaking away just to go manage Braun, because Braun could either be brought up or they could bring up Baron Corbin, just keep them as a tag team right now while they're still introducing him. Because they're hot as a tag team right now. They could keep them
I don't think Baron Corbin's been more over lately.
Yeah, if you kept them together, they could work.
Baron Corbin's had in a long time, if not arguably ever.
So just keep the Wolf Dogs together for a little while. I would say that would still work, and then you could break off Braun later. But let's give Jacob a chance. He's here. Let's give Jacob a chance. Y'all talked enough, damn it. Jacob. Happy birthday, Jacob. Any thoughts on either the AEW footage or any of the outside WrestleMania matches you saw, or anything Hall of Fame or anything from the weekend?
Well, another thing about the clusterfuck when Buff Bagwell came out.
My favorite was when Goldberg returned. That was great. No, unfortunately, I just didn't get a chance to see any other wrestling over the weekend. I thought the Hall of Fame was good. I saw Heyman's speech. It was weird that he chose to go out first, or maybe he didn't choose to go out first, but it was weird that they chose for him to go out first. But then again, maybe he was like, well, now if I go over on time, then that's all right.
He jokes about it at the very end. He's like, I've gone over. I've got to pee.
Yeah.
And no, I think that wasn't simply the thing. I think that was to where, hey, he easily can. No one's stopping him. Everyone else, you got a type 5.
Right.
And you can suck his dick.
Well, also, there were 5, 6.
Hey, don't say that. There's a lady watching.
Yeah,
that's what he said.
That's true. There were 6 inductees, and 2 of them weren't couldn't be there or something, so there were only like
not to be
4
mean,
actual speeches.
It's kind of it's go out of your way to watch Heyman. Everything else,
Yeah.
if you're really into that person, I guess. But otherwise, this was a skippable Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, but I just was unfortunately wasn't able to catch any other wrestling over the weekend. I'll go back and watch Stand and Deliver because it sounds like a pretty decent show.
Yeah, I enjoyed at least what I saw of Stand and Deliver. Yeah, that triple threat meat match, and the crowd was even chanting meat at different points, so that was fun. That's starting to catch on like as a thing, which I like, especially when they were just throwing boots at each other and forearms stuff. That was a lot of fun. Yeah, but those guys beat the hell out of each other. It was great. It was exactly what I wanted. Just 3 massive dudes just wailing on each other, and it was excellent. Yeah, that was good. Yeah, that tag match was good.
I guess just quickly speaking of meat, I guess that they're setting up the next challenger, Obafemi versus Ivar from Fighting Ring.
That should be fun. I'm down with that.
Yeah, and Ivar shows up in regular clothes. Like that was, come on. I thought you were a Viking.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess the only other one we all, I guess, saw Bloodsport, at least, 3 of us. And yeah, Bloodsport was interesting. Always a interesting show. You can't go into it thinking it's going to be like every other wrestling, on the weekend, because it's just not. Because most matches don't really go beyond 5 minutes sometimes. Hardly any of them go over 10. It's usually, they just have these flash finishes and whatnot. A lot of kind of worked MMA sort of fights, maybe a little bit of wrestling.
We can look that up. Let's see. Your longest match of the night is 8:40.
There you go.
Suzuki and Royce Isaacs. Not a single match went over 9 minutes. Your
almost as long as the fight backstage.
2:15 when Lizzie Snow, by the way, my girl, love Lizzie, defeating Lady Frost, actually.
She's from Jacksonville, Florida. They built her my old stomping grounds. Yay. And she looks like somebody from Florida.
She's cool.
Yeah, no, cool. It seems cool. No, it was an interesting show. Yeah, the Shayna Baszler thing was interesting. Walked out by Zoe Stark.
Technically, WWE and TNA.
Yeah, right. Won by stomping out. What's her name? Just Masha, just in the back of the head. Yeah, Slamovich, who was very, very. She was probably the busiest female over the weekend. Mike Bailey and Masha Slamovich were in on every other goddamn show I checked into over the weekend. Yep. They were running all over the place. Masha was having matches with the guys, having matches with the ladies, all kinds of stuff in between. They had a match. I watched a little bit of the with the Joey Janela Spring Break, where it was her and God, I forget who she was tagging with. The Kai, what's it? Something Kai, the MLW chick, Janai Kai.
Oh, Janai Kai. Also, Janai
Kai. Yeah, Janai Kai and Masha.
Women's champion. We had her first.
There you go. Janai Kai and Masha was them two versus Masato Tanaka and Minoru Suzuki. So that was fun. Just beating the hell out of each other. That was a good time. Yeah, she was very, very busy. Yeah, Bloodsport was fun. Just you can't go into it thinking it's going to be like spot. Like it's not. That's not what it is.
Because it is something different. For me, it blended in very quickly though.
Yeah, it was fun to watch while I was half paying attention just on the elliptical. I was watching a lot of it at the gym, just, here's the thing. Oh, and he just kicked him in the head for the finish. Okay, cool. Moving on to the next match. Although Dolph Ziggler and Nick Nemeth still managed to hit a zigzag in the opening match or the second match to win. So he somehow worked that in against Mike Bailey, so that was fun.
Another crossover, Regal's son, Charlie Dempsey, popping up,
Yeah, I think he was an alternate, wasn't he, for the show or something? Like, I think he filled in for somebody else. I don't think he was originally scheduled.
I guess so, because I don't feel like I had heard of that. And then he just was in the intro. And I'm like, shit, okay.
Yeah, he was an alternate. But, good little show there.
I feel bad for Mike Bailey. They made a big point of the fact that to state that fact that he's never won. He's like 0-6 now.
Well, he tries. He's a Taekwondo guy, so I get it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And like we said, he's kind of been one of the MVPs, like Pest said, for the last couple of years, actually. Even last year, that dude was everywhere. So
yeah, I want to say he did Bloodsport, then he ran over and did like some other show. Then he was on the WrestleCon show that night. Then the next day he was on like the FE brunch, and then he's on like the afternoon, the spring break show. He was everywhere. He was hopping all over the place. So kudos to him in those paydays.
Before Bloodsport, he was on like the noon show for Defy. Like you said, he fought Rob Van Dam. Yeah, all
over the place. So But yeah, let's get to the main event here. Now that Jacob's here, we could talk a little bit about the actual WrestleMania. So let's get into WrestleMania 40 here and start talking about it piece by piece. We'll start obviously with night one. That would be odd if we started with night two. That would be a little strange. And then went backwards. Let's start with the main event of night two and work our way backwards. But no, we started out night one. I think we can all at least agree night two improvement over night one. Night one was all right, but you know,
instead of last year.
But the opposite the last year, yeah.
The opposite, right. Yes. Night one was awesome last year. The night two, maybe a little bit of disappointment. But yeah, night one still had its highlights, though. Namely, one of the ones, the opening match, because we had Rhea Ripley putting her women's title on the line against Becky Lynch. And maybe some people might have argued the best match on night one. I saw that going around. A lot of people seem to really enjoy this. And yeah, maybe not quite as good as Rhea and Charlotte from last year, where Rhea won the title, but still a very, very good match. But yeah, Jacob, what do you think about this opener from night one here with Rhea?
I really liked it. Yeah, I don't. It was one that it was weird because I don't think the result was ever in doubt. So I mean, for me personally, like that just takes it out a little bit, like the false finishes and things. But I still think they put on a heck of a performance. Shout out to Becky Lynch for working sick too.
Yeah.
I'll stay home from work if I have a cold, and she's like, I'm just gonna go put on a banger of a match in front of 70,000 people with 102 temperature and a sore throat. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe I am kind of a.
Maybe she figured, I'll do my thing, and then tomorrow I can just lay in the hotel room all day, and they probably let her. You know what I mean?
Right.
You can just rest all day and all week, and we'll let you have the week off.
She's like, I don't need to watch Seth again.
Yeah. Oh my God, this guy's all over this show. I'll see you when you get back to the hotel, babe.
Right. Especially if you watch after WrestleMania, like what a geek! I'm married to this guy. Anyway,
what a dork! He loses all the time.
I don't think so.
Yeah,
I think up until the final two matches,
Seth is still a winner because he goes home to Becky Lynch. So you know what? He still wins.
I think after the money he made this weekend, and his wife, he's doing fine.
They're doing good. Sorry, Jake.
No. I think up until like those final two matches, that the IC and then the main, I was like, I still think Rhea and Becky was my favorite match going into those, and still up in the air actually. So yeah, I saw somewhere like. Some group or some page on Facebook posted Becky worked sick and still carried Rhea to a fantastic match. I was like, carried Rhea? Rhea was great. They both did.
Rhea carried Nia Jax last month. What are you smoking? Did you watch Elimination Chamber? Who was the workhorse in that match, dude? Come on, shut up.
No. Shout out Rhea. I honestly don't know when she's going to drop the title. Is she going to go on a Romanesque run? I don't think so, but
could be a while.
I don't want her to lose it anytime soon.
She might at least hold on until midway this year or something. Maybe even next WrestleMania. We'll see. Her popularity has not gone down. So I don't.
At least SummerSlam. Hold it till at least SummerSlam.
At least, yeah. Richie, what do you think this women's opener?
Well, yeah. I mean, I kind of. When it's Becky Lynch, you kind of always have to be there's an asterisk like that. It's Becky Lynch. She could win. She's probably one of the biggest women stars in wrestling. It's had for ages, so it could always be the case. But yeah, no, they had a really, really good match. I think it was a match that Rhea should have to solidify her status, her kind of almost her almost she might go on to legendary status at this point, but her kind of status as the top, the one of the top females in wrestling. So I felt it's almost like a passing on the torch moment kind of thing. Shout out to her working sick. She's still working sick and had a really good match, so that's cool. I don't know if it's like a WrestleMania curse because we just talked about
Stone Cold.
Stone Cold being sick.
Yeah.
That riptide to the buckle looked brutal. That reminded me of had shades of when the German into the buckle with Kurt Angle. I was like, oh yeah. But yeah, no, it was a really, really good match. Maybe yeah. So I don't know. I figured as well, just because of how they were building it, that Rhea would go into a feud with Liv Morgan because of how she's like, I'm going to take everything away from you. So I'm like,
they already started.
so they're gonna, and then on Raw she jumped her. So I'm like, does Liv do it? I don't know if Liv beats her, but
no,
I kind of see it happening. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. But I'm guessing that's a match at Backlash. So yeah, no, really good match. I don't know. I'm not sure if I'd agree it's the best match on night one, but it's still a very good match.
Yeah. JPO, any quick thoughts on this one?
No, I like this match a lot here. Yeah, it's not quite the level of Rhea and Charlotte the year before. I think we're just more invested, and also the outcome of that match was getting a little bit more time. But I love even the entrances of this match here. I mean, they had some good entrances this year. We got a glimpse of it right here at the beginning here from Rhea. Rhea with motion and Listen White getting to do a little bit of the lip sync with the singer. You could tell too she was just enjoying that and soaking that in. Becky, I like the book shit going on. I thought that was kind of cool here. You know, I mean, I like thought out entrances here too. I think Triple H is really good with that. You know, you watch NXT for years now. There's really good entrances from Axiom to Lexis King to a lot of people have like cool entrances. And we got to see that at Mania this year. So this was a good match here. Good way to set the tone, set the pace here. Like the other women's title match, jumping ahead. Yeah, I feel like the outcome I would be pretty certain on this one of the more kind of confident ones that we had. But it's two top people at the top of their game. So, yeah, this is a good way. Good way to start Mania, I think, actually.
Yeah, for sure. So, yeah, it was a nice hot start to Mania. I just wanted to add, yeah, the thing where she walked through the book, I thought that might have been a real book for a second. That actually looked really good.
I did too.
I was like, oh, did they get like a big prop book for her to like walk through? I was like, that looked awesome. Yeah, it was
like
great.
a big videos box. Like I was like, is that? No, that was graphic.
Yeah.
I was joking to my friend. Imagine if they went through the whole book. What a long entrance that'd be. And in chapter 1. I was born at this day.
Just pulls an Andy Kaufman on us and just to see how long they can get away with reading the entire book. Chapter 3. God damn it!
Yeah, good stuff there to open the show. Then we moved on to our match with the most people over the weekend. I didn't list everybody, but I just
calm down, Richie. Calm the fuck down.
Yeah, calm down.
Yeah, but Richie, but did you win?
You got this match right, but yeah, no. The spoiler alert: you got this match right, but you still didn't. You won night one. You won night one, and then you won night one and bomb night 2. Richie, sorry.
I challenged this because I said DIY. They weren't even in the match. DX was, so I don't even think.
No, as Truth calls him, Regeneration X.
Yeah.
Regeneration
X. Shout out to Richie for picking both winners correctly. That's good.
Yes, you did pick, and it was ASAP rules, so you're the only one who got the points for it. So yes,
damn it, that was my idea.
Yeah, no, it backfired. But yes, A-Town Down Under pulled the SmackDown Tag Team titles, and Awesome Truth pulled the Raw Tag Team titles in this ladder match here. Yeah, again, a little slow to get going, but once it did, a couple of good spots. But I was happy. It was nothing like super crazy to where anybody was like killing themselves. Enough crazy enough spots. Yeah, was a Gargano like tornado DDT on the outside was a good spot on the table. That was cool. JD getting pushed off one of the ladders through the tables, but again, pretty safe spot relatively. Was it Grayson Waller with the title in his hand getting powerbombed through the ladder? While he's still holding
the him for the last half.
Yeah, exactly.
Tommaso Ciampa getting the
oh my god, the air raid crash.
The air raid crash on Tyler Bate. That was the only one I was worried about. Man,
that was the one that looked the most disgusting, yeah, of everything, and that didn't even involve any tables or whatnot. But yeah, that looked painful. And then some of the highlights are obviously Truth once he got in there looking for the hot tag from Miz. That was fun. But the crowd got into it. They were on their feet cheering him on. He got the hot tag, came in, did the Cena spots, and then went for the pin and got the pin because the crowd chanted along 1, 2, 3. So technically he went on to say. I think on the McAfee show he won twice. He got a pinfall and the tag titles. He's not wrong. And then he climbed up there and the crowd went nuts when he pulled the titles and won the thing. I think maybe to a surprise for everybody, but a pleasant surprise. One of those feel good moments too that not all of us predicted. But it's like not like you're against seeing it. It was a feel good moment. It was nice to see him. That he's going to get at least maybe one more run with a title. Before he maybe hangs it up at some point. I mean, dude is getting up there in age, even though he doesn't look it, and he's been around the company for a long time.
Yeah.
So, but nice to see. But
he's one of those guys. I don't think he looks much older than like 2004. Truth, like
no, he still looks good, and he's still in great shape. Yeah, he looks great.
From 04, you're like,
he's gonna be like Ernie Hudson. He's gonna be 79 years old and still look exactly the same. So he's gonna be good.
Ernie Hudson's more buff now than he was back then.
I know. Yeah, it's nuts. I guess that's the secret. But JPO, any overall thoughts on the ladder match here? Any highlights for you?
Yeah, I think you put it pretty decently here. It's not a ladder match to go back to often here. Like you said, a little slow, a couple cool spots. So I am entertained. It's definitely not a negative review by any means. But yeah, I did kind of like afterwards. It's actually, I looked at it because I actually timed both segments because I'm weird. So it's like 7 minutes and then 7.5 minutes. So it's about 7 minutes for both segments here from A-Town to then Arson Truth getting it. It makes sense to have a heel and a face team. I was always kind of like picturing it would be like kind of at the same time. Is why I kind of thought maybe it would just end with two face teams getting it. But this made sense there. You get A-Town Under kind of getting it, taking them out more or less. I don't know. I don't think Theory should have been taken out as long. I don't feel like he had enough of a bump. Made sense for Grayson to be kind of dead for the last 7 minutes.
Yeah.
But and then end with the moment that I think I definitely was predicting was going to happen here because I feel like this before even a ladder match I was like, oh, R-Truth's going to get a tag title shot. That's definitely where we're heading here. And not only a thank you to him, I think also too. Props to the other unsung hero, kind of in the Miz. You know what I mean? Like he hasn't really had much to do, outside of he had the IC title feud for a minute. You know what I mean? Which was a good match, but I don't think anyone believed he was taken from Gunther. So a little bit of a props to the Miz as well. Another guy that's just been killing it for the last decade plus. So fun to have him as tag champs. This obviously is a run that I wouldn't be surprised doesn't last long, but we'll see. And I'm happy too that we have the title split. I think we've said before, there's plenty of teams here. Teams that we even get on Mania here that were left out. That these two. Separate them, figure out in the draft who's going where. Well, I guess right now they're pretty set, Raw and SmackDown. So I guess we're already kind of set. But yeah, like I said, match was fun. Not the greatest ladder match, but definitely, still fun.
Yeah, Richie.
Yeah, no, it was a fun match. Yeah, nothing too spectacular as far as bumps other than the air raid crash that we talked about. But yeah. No, I think in my predictions just made sense that heel face dynamic, but yeah, I understand the other kind of scenarios that could have played out here. It's it's a cool feel good moment. If we had one climb, it's just a silly climb. I thought it's just in the entrances. That watch up thing should just be R-Truth's fun. When Miz got into it, I'm like, no, that was cringy. But no, you're not cool. Stop it. That's an R-Truth thing. Anyway, that was just that's just a small dumb thing. Other than that, it was a really good match. I do kind of see them having a short run because I feel we'll get into it. I feel like they're going to do the Judgment Day with all the titles thing. So I could see them losing to Finn Balor and JD soon. But really good match.
Yeah, Jacob.
Yeah, like JPO said, entertaining enough. Not a ladder match that I'm going to go back to super often. I great moment for R-Truth winning a title at WrestleMania. If you would have told me that Grayson Waller was going to get a title before Tommaso Ciampa or Johnny Gargano, who are Triple H guys, I would have been like, I don't think so. But it makes sense to have a heel. It makes sense, like JPO said, have a heel team and a face team, and if Awesome Truth is going to be that face team, then I think A-Town Down Under makes sense. I think they could have a fun, 1-2 month reign. Maybe even, who knows? Maybe it could be longer than that. But I'm ready for New Catch to take those titles from them. That's my prediction. Is that New Catch will be the ones to take the titles from them. But entertaining enough, and like I said, glad to see Truth get a big WrestleMania moment.
Yeah, for sure.
And that didn't make top 12, you guys. I went back and I rewatched the top 12 WrestleMania moments, and R-Truth finally getting his moment. Was it at least an honorable mention?
No, it's good.
You guys.
No, it's fine. Then we went on to some other tag team action here after the tag team ladder match. So some other tag teams lingering around. We have Rey Mysterio and Andrade taking on and defeating Santos Escobar and Dominic Mysterio with a little help from some of the Philadelphia Eagles, from Jason Kelsey and some other guy I didn't know.
Lane Johnson.
Lane Johnson, there you go. In the most gigantic luchadors you've ever seen, because they came out with the Eagles lucha masks on, and certainly not your average luchadors.
Luchadors. I'm like, I thought one of them was Goldberg or something.
It's me, Travis Kelsey.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I was like, I guess it's a sports person. I didn't know who else it could be, but I mean, it made sense. Obviously, in Philly, got a big pop from those guys. But yeah, they did their thing. Jason Kelsey, I could see him doing more stuff now that he's retiring with WWE here and there. I know him and McAfee are buddies, and he's got some connections in there, so we could see him pop up again doing some stuff. We'll see. But Richie, what do you think of this tag match here?
I thought the match was okay. I thought they were doing all right. I didn't like the finish, to be honest. I understand you wanted to integrate the Jason Kelsey because he's a big star and whatever, they got into there somehow. I don't know, man. I didn't like. I just thought it'd be cool to get Dominic to have a sort of moment. I guess maybe they'll just do the Dominic and Ray again next year, and Dominic wins. But I don't know. I like the match up until that point. I'm just like, okay, I don't know. Yeah, just kind of I didn't like. I thought like Dominic and especially Ray supposed to be like this kind of big personal feud, and it's kind of turned into a comedy match, and it's like, okay. But yeah, and like I don't know. I was a bit disappointed by it, but like the actual in-ring action before that was obviously good because all four of these guys are good. I can say, what the fuck is that? That's good. That's cool mask, man. It distracted me. But yeah, I even say like Dominic Mysterio is good at this point. Yeah. So, but yeah, I don't know. I just think the finish kind of, I don't know. Let it a bit sour, but I don't mind the match. It was fine. It was there.
Yeah, Jacob. Hard to breathe in that thing. Jacob.
Yeah, the match was fine. I think this starts the string of like 3 matches where I'm like, okay, that was fine. I wasn't disappointed. I think there was enough there to keep me entertained. But yeah, the finish kind of takes me out a little bit. Like your baby faces shouldn't have outside interference to win. Especially when like it doesn't. I don't think it calls for it. That's the name of their 4th and inches move. They all line up behind Jalen Hurts and push him forward in the booty. But yeah, I was also a little disappointed because I was like almost certain that Carlito was gonna turn heel, and he didn't. I'm ready. I like heel Carlito, so that was like more personal, like just a thing. Like, hey, let's see heel Carlito before you.
Maybe they were saving that for one of the other pay-per-views to be like a bigger moment or something, not just lost in the middle of the show. I don't know.
I bet you'll have it on SmackDown.
Yeah. And it was weird that he was the only one that came out in street clothes, and everyone else came out in.
I never understood the thing. We talked about it on the show. That's a weird pet peeve of mine. If you're not in the match, but you come out in your wrestling tights, why? Why are you in wrestling tights?
I made that appointment with my friend. I'm like, why is Angel and Umberto wearing tights? They're not in the match.
Why aren't they just wearing clothes? Like,
I was going to turn into an 8-man tag.
Well, that's what I thought at first. With how many damn people were around the ring, I was like, are they just going to make it a big scramble, like 4-on-4 thing or something? Because it might as well been with how many people were running around the ring. There was more people out here than the ladder match, with including the women. There was just people everywhere. I couldn't keep up with it. There was just all kinds of dorks running around.
I need wrestling those. Jesus.
You're sweating. You're literally sweating.
Ask go DM right now, DM Excalibur, how he does whole pay-per-views wearing that damn mask. I don't understand. Yeah, that's insane. He wears that thing for like 5 hours straight. That seems nuts. JP, any thoughts on this one?
Okay, yeah. So Jacob said something that really bugged me too, which was I liked the match up until the finish here. I first I was very confused. I was like, the Creed brothers? Who the fuck is this? Like, how's this make any sense? And then it's the 2 football guys that have nothing compared to the story. It makes your faces look weak as shit. Oh, cool, they won because of these two fucks. I don't give a shit about the people, so yeah, that bothers me. I have the heels be pissed that they lost. Give Ray a real win. Have the fucking footballers come in and stop them from a beatdown or something. I don't know. I don't think they need to be involved in the actual match. It's probably what really kind of annoys me here, because it really does to me put a kind of a stamp, a negative stamp on what was otherwise a decent tag match here.
Yeah.
Also, sure. I'm pretty sure like 20% of the crowd was probably actually from Philly, so the other 80% was like, "Oh, okay."
Okay. Yeah, they're in Philly,
that's a solid point too. It's a very international crowd. It's not
a lot of out-of-towners out there. They're not going to all be cheering for the Philly person necessarily. Yeah,
not even out-of-towners, out-of-country people. I saw Australian flags there.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I said it's an international. It's WrestleMania. People go from countries. Yeah. It's not just U.S. wise. No, and I know people too that are like they hate Philadelphia too, so put even more of a stamp on it. Like sports fans hate that team.
Yeah. I mean, didn't they show that Tom Kettle guy a couple of times in the crowd who's supposed to be from Philadelphia, and they booed him a couple.
George Kittle,
yeah, I don't know who that was.
It's the San Francisco guy, but yeah, it's
San Francisco guy. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like how many people are gonna pop? Oh yeah, San Francisco. Third guy in one row. So, yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think the match that we could all probably agree was maybe the most disappointing of the weekend. Jey Uso defeating Jimmy Uso. A match that we all thought had potential to be really good or have some good drama, but it just kind of came and went with a thud, in my opinion. I think it just kind of it just happened. Maybe I think they should have done this match like 3 months ago when it was a little bit hotter. It seemed like it got lost in the shuffle of the other bigger bloodline storyline a little bit. You've done this maybe at the Rumble or something. I don't know. It's just something felt off about this. It lacked the drama. It just even lacked the in-ring stuff. It was just a lot of super kick, done. And it's just pinfall, no interference, just no real progression of the storylines. It's like Jay just beat him clean. And that was it. Over and done. In the pantheon of brother versus brother matches at WrestleMania. I mean, it wasn't Bret and Owen. We'll just say that. So, Jacob, any thoughts on Jay and Jimmy here?
It was, like I said, the last match started a stream of 3 that I was just like, okay.
Yeah.
Whereas I had less expectations going into the other 2 than I did this one. This is probably my most disappointing match of the night, probably of the weekend, to be honest, because, these 2 should know each other really well. They should be able to go out there and put on. I think the match only lasted just over 11 minutes. It seemed like they were saving a lot of time for that main event. But, man, you give them 15, 20 minutes, tell them, hey, just go tell a story. They should be able to. So I don't know what happened and why this one fell off, but it did. I didn't hate it, but I'm like, if I go back and rewatch matches from WrestleMania 40, this one's probably, bottom 3.
Yeah, for sure. Richie.
Yeah, look, this match had such a long build to it. It was just a match. It was just there. It was like they didn't wrestle like they kind of had this huge animosity going into it. There was just and it was just like when he hit the splash in his one, I'm like, okay. I feel like the Bret and Owen, the brother versus brothers, was at the peak, and no one's been able to even touch that. Even Matt versus Jeff's never worked out. I don't know, brother versus brother just doesn't. I don't know what it is. It sounds good.
Jay and Mark can do some cool shit back in the day.
Yeah, I know, but maybe on the WrestleMania stage in WWE, it just doesn't. I don't know if it's cursed. It just doesn't. You'd think on paper it will catch fire. It doesn't. I don't know if they just got their time cut before they went out, but there's just nothing. Yeah, there was nothing to suggest hey, this is. Yeah, it could have been more of a banger. This was the one where you could have had interference. It could have been a book. I don't know. Maybe I thought maybe it would have been cool if you had Rikishi come out if you could do something. But yeah, and
I've been pushing for them to have Rikishi come out and settle the boys down for a while now. So tell those boys to go sit in the corner for a little while and talk it over. But they still haven't done that. He was in town. He was at the Hall of Fame. I saw him. He was right there.
This feels like a match that you could just see on Raw, to be honest. It felt like a what, like 10-minute Raw match. I don't know. Just didn't have that WrestleMania feel to it. So it was just disappointing. And maybe the feud continues, but it's like, you should have had the big blow off, huge feud here. But yeah, and I don't know. I think Jimmy Uso needed the win more than Jay does. But anyway, I guess Jay's. We'll get into it, but I think he's challenging probably for the title Backlash. But maybe that's why they put him over to being a little strong.
Yeah, JP.
Yeah, guys, no, I'm with you. This is the disappointment of the weekend here. I actually kind of do want to rewatch it and see if, like, maybe with lowered expectations, if it would help. Because, yeah, just you've built up to this for a very long time here. Like Ray and Dominic last year, they kept them off, off brands, different brands, so they, be a reason for them not to touch for the most part. And yeah, this felt like Richie said, a Raw kind of SmackDown match. It kind of felt like they were saving it for Backlash, or for maybe they're saving it for SummerSlam, and we're gonna get back to this because it really did feel like we're gonna hold back. Maybe the time was cut, or they're just saving it because this was it was fine. I mean, in a silver lining, I'll say kudos because if this is one of your top 2 to 3, if not number 1 worst match of the weekend, it's not that bad of a weekend then. You know what I mean? It's not that it wasn't shits by any means. But no, as far as a match that on paper I was like, this could steal the night. Far from it. This was the most disappointing of the night.
Yeah, for sure. So a little disappointing there. And a match that again was kind of just a match, maybe there just to show off a certain person in the match. Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, and Naomi defeats Damage Control in kind of a 6-woman showcase here. Not a lot to talk about in this match, other than it was pretty much what everybody thought it would be. Naomi kind of out there to take the take the heat, and then we get the tag to Cargill, and Cargill comes in and does a couple of moves and shows that she's got star power, and that was it. And Bianca hit a really hit a shot with her hair that sounded like a gunshot going off. I will say that at one point she whipped somebody in the back with that thing, and it sounded really loud. I mean, not a whole lot to take home about. Jake, they're definitely pushing Cargill as a big deal. They did it here, but not much going on here. Jacob, your third disappointing of the little 3-pack.
Yeah, not that I had
I agree.
high expectations going into it.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought we could at least get some good back and forth between maybe Bianca and Asuka, which is a one-on-one match I'd like to see. I'm sure we've seen it before, but I wouldn't mind seeing it again. The entrances were cool. I really like the entrances. Dakota Kai felt a little out of place for Damage Control's entrance, but hey, she looked good. This was just a showcase for Jade, and even then, it's only an 8-minute match, I think. So it's not really much of a showcase. Again, I don't know if they were cut for time because the main event went 45 minutes plus entrances. So who knows? And I'm pretty sure you timed it. So I think the main event took an hour when you add.
I know, the actual match went 44 minutes or something like that. But somebody even said on Twitter it was between the end of the IC title match and the actual bell of the main event was 40 minutes also. So it was just a long time before we actually got even to the end of the show from the end of the IC title match. So maybe they got their time cut by a couple minutes. I don't know, maybe, but it seemed like the show went long anyway. So I don't.
Yeah. I think it was 10 minutes past 8 for me when the show ended.
Right. But Richard, any quick thoughts on this one?
It's just a match, just a showcase match. You could tell the crowd didn't really. I mean, you could tell the crowd knew what the match was for as well. They didn't really, care about else in the match other than Jade. It's we want Jade. So Jade came in, cleaned house. I could see Jade and Bianca being built up kind of like your Jade and Jimmy, where they're kind of they're teaming and kept separate. So I could see Jade going to Raw in the draft, even though she's only been on SmackDown briefly. Just because I think Jade and Bianca are probably going to wrestle WrestleMania at some point, maybe next year. But this is a good showcase for Jade. She's obviously got that. She's got that. She's got that charisma without that. Just that sort of presence charisma. You know what I mean? Similar to like a Goldberg or and that kind of thing where you just she's got that aura about her. So yeah, you want to capitalize on that. And like Jade Cargill did show up on Raw and like got a huge pop and like squash Chelsea Green. So it kind of makes me think, oh, like, yeah, they're high and they want her on the sort of more rated show. So I'm thinking that's
she might even be one of those people that just stays undefeated for a while, kind of like Gunther. They just keep her undefeated for quite
and
hopefully
they don't wreck the undefeated streak like they did, and she did an AEW.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it just felt like just a match here. I don't know. It's just cool. It's just a match to have them on the card, and that was it.
Yeah, for sure. JPO, any thoughts on this one?
Yeah, so last match didn't meet our expectations. This match did meet my expectations, and that's also not a good thing. It's unfortunately the exact match I kind of thought we were going to get, which was not a squash. It's definitely given a little bit of time, but again, what were we at? 7 minutes, right? We said?
Something like that, yeah.
And even 8. There's 6 women here, so obviously not like, no one really got a shit ton to do here. And yeah, it's just a way to establish Jade, to give her first real match here. Also kind of help Bianca and Naomi, who might not have been on the card otherwise. Naomi just returned as well. Bianca's a top-notch star. So good, fine SmackDown match. Again, I don't hate it. Like, again, that's why I'm saying, like, almost in a mean/nice way, like it met expectations, because I get why it happened. I totally get it from a booking standpoint. But yeah, as far as like match quality, it was fine.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, another match I think a lot of people said was one of the best of the shows and one of the best of the weekend. And I don't think anybody doubted that it would be a great match. Maybe just some of us didn't know exactly where it was going to go with the result. But yeah, Sami Zayn defeats Gunther, finally puts down his undefeated streak as champion. I was telling Jacob when we were watching the show on night 1, because you guys joined us for a good chunk of night 2. But for night 1, as soon as they started doing the stuff backstage, we're like, he's meeting with his wife and his kid and all this stuff. I was like, oh, Sammy's winning. Oh, damn.
I was like, can I change my prediction?
I was like, can I change it? We haven't started yet. Because as soon as they did that, I was like, oh, yeah, okay.
They're really hammering that.
Yeah, they really kind of hammered it in here. He hugs, Kevin Owens right before he goes out the curtain, the whole thing. Again, great stuff what they're doing with the camera and the backstage stuff with this director they've got, like following him from that all the way to the gorilla position, hugging Kevin, hit the music, follow him out on the ramp. Like, that was awesome. Like, I like the stuff they've been doing with the camera work and everything. It's great.
I was saying to my friend, you know how like SmackDown vs. Raw, that you'd go into like like there would be this thing where you walk backstage and then go into the ring. It kind of felt like
Sorry. Now Triple H mentioned on the scrum, like, they're trying things, and you could see, like, there's even a really cool moment on Raw. Oh, when Rhea gets attacked, and Dominic looks at the camera. He's like, "Go away!" And like the camera literally just like transitions to like the next shot, it follows it. You know what I mean? So like they're trying different things. So I enjoy that.
Hey, no, I don't mind a little experimentation in a good way. I think some other companies have experimented and it's a bad thing, like Crash TV type of stuff with Russo, where we're just bouncing all over the place just to keep your attention. But it's like, no, we just want to follow what we're watching. But, if you can present it in a cool way from some different angles, not like breaking the fourth wall, just like, we're just following the guys a little more like a sports thing. Even the stuff, the way they're presenting them in the ring felt very UFC, like where they're there's a guy with a camera in the ring, as like presenting each competitor. Sami Zayn.
Yeah, I love those title match intros. Yeah, those are dope.
Those are fun. Yeah, the way they're kind of making a big deal. So that was awesome. Shout out to Samantha Irvin as well, who did a great job the whole weekend. She was awesome doing her thing. But yeah, no, great match here. I think, the thing that everybody's kind of talking about this besides just how hard hitting and not was that Sami Zayn finally hit the brain buster in WWE for the first time ever. I think he's teased it a couple of times, but he's never quite hit it. And it seems like if you're going to break it out, why not at WrestleMania for the big win and kind of lead into the finish there, because he hit it and then hit a couple of Luva kicks to win the thing. It was a very simple story. Big man beats up little guy, for a while. Sami's really good at selling that and really selling the pain there, especially from the shots with him and his wife in the front row and whatnot. We always, me and Jacob also wonder what happened to the kid. Is he hanging out with somebody backstage? He said he was going to watch it on TV, I guess. But
Sammy does say like take him away or something. So.
Yeah, so it would be funny if Kevin Owens was watching him. That would be funny, in the back. Hey, go hang out with Uncle Kev.
It would have been nice if they had like done one quick shot of like him like watching Paw Patrol.
They're in the back, like doing something, like smoking a cigarette. No, you're I don't know.
No, you're a bad influence. Don't do that. He's hanging out with he's hanging out with Imperium, you know, Ludwig.
Yeah. Gunther, I mean Sammy.
Yeah. Root for Gunther, right? Okay, yeah. No, that'd be interesting. But yeah, great match, as we all kind of thought it would be. And yeah, Sammy getting the IC title here. So and maybe signals that Gunther's going to move on to some other things now. Maybe move into the world title picture, as we've all kind of speculated he's definitely ready for, and bump him up into that position. So we'll see what happens here with JPO. Any thoughts on the IC title match here?
Yeah, this man pretty decent expectations here. I mean, I still, if you want me to argue, I still kind of maybe would have liked Chad Gable. I think it could have helped him out a little bit more, but that's fantasy booking here. What they did was still pretty good here. Sami Zayn getting a nice singles win here, probably easily, I would say probably his biggest singles win on a Mania. I like kind of a more of a back and forth sometimes with Gunther. This felt like a lot of like 80-20. Sammy all of a sudden comes alive at the end here, but still well told story here. Good moment, good match, and another pretty decent. This is kind of where it's like it's at least lifting off a little bit to the next level now.
Yeah, for sure. Feeling like a big time Mania stuff, Richie.
Yeah, no, this was great. It definitely felt more Mania, but yeah, once you saw all the backstage stuff, you're like, oh yeah, Sammy probably winning here. The Brainbusters was cool seeing WWE. It was kind of it actually when me and JP was watching it, I think Kyle Fletcher brought it out in his match against Lee Johnson. So so I kind of I mean, it's cool seeing Sammy do it, but I'm like, it would have been cool if I hadn't already seen that weekend. But it's really cool. It looks like Sammy is defending against Chad Gable on next week in Montreal. I'm not sure if Chad's turning it to turn heel or where that's going to go. That'll be the match.
Or if it's just a friendly fight, just like it was in Rocky 3, guys. They've been doing a lot of Rocky 3 stuff. Rocky 3, Apollo didn't turn heel after their third fight behind closed doors. They just had their fight, and they stayed friends. They could just stay friends. It could be a friendly competition.
Speaking of Rocky, we didn't mention Kofi and Xavier doing a Rocky.
Oh, yeah. Consequences Creed, and then Kofi dressing up like Rocky. Yeah.
I totally didn't get it first. At first, I was like, that's weird they're not matching tights. What the fuck? And then I was like,
Rocky.
I was like, that's weird. They never do that. They're always matching. Did they fuck up? That's not really Kofi's backup pants? And I was like, oh, I see what they did there.
Yeah.
I don't know, like, if they're just going to... It's weird that the internet had, like, 3 sort of interesting similar promos where, like, we'll just get this. Obviously, Sammy on Raw gave props to Gunther, and they're like, obviously, it's Rain, but on NXT, Trick gave props to Carmelo for how well he is, and then the Rock and Cody segment on Raw. It's like, okay, that's very maybe there's more of a. I feel like there's just more of a sports vibe here in that, hey, respect to people, it's good. I like it, but yeah. I thought this was. I do think this beat Rhea and Becky as far as the match of the night. No disrespect to them, but yeah, this match ruled. I guess Sami Zayn, but when I was second guessing myself like immediately afterwards. When you're saying he could catch it and to win the world, to get a world title shot or whatever, or retire, and I'm like, that makes sense. Yeah, so he wasn't on Raw this week, so I'm guessing he will show up eventually. That will be the way to go with him. So really good match.
Yeah, Jacob.
Yeah, no, this match was really good. Finally picked back up after 3 okay matches, like I said. Not bad, but okay. Part of me was like, I feel like they're giving Zayn a little too much punishment. Like, it's almost making it a little unbelievable for me that he's going to come back. But again, this is professional wrestling, and so, suspend your disbelief. It was cool to see some of the moves that he pulled out. It's funny that we paint him as this underdog, and yet it seems like every WrestleMania at least the last 2. So maybe not every WrestleMania, but it's like he has this big WrestleMania moment, and then he kind of, gets lower down the card a little bit, and then we got to build him back up as this underdog. So I'm just curious, like, what the story is going to be going into next year's Mania now. Like, what's Zayn's story going to be? How's he going to be the underdog next year?
I've never had the speed title.
It does seem like a lifetime ago he lost to Johnny Knoxville.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that happened not that long ago, for sure.
Yeah, which is why I was like, maybe not every WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Well, no, but that's kind of one of the things I was hesitant on, is because they're like the ultimate underdog, and like the dude had a great Mania last year. He main evented and won a title.
Yeah.
He main evented.
He beat the longest reigning tag team champions.
And also how often you can do this underdog storyline until it runs dry.
I think you're kind of out of that by now, like, unless he goes for the world title one more time.
But you did it with Roman before.
Never quite had the world title.
We got to our main event here, which was had implications for night 2. That if the Bloodline won, it would be Bloodline rules on night 2, and if Cody and Seth won, it would just be a straight one-on-one match with no Bloodline interference. Everybody kind of banned from ringside. But The Rock and Roman Reigns, the Bloodline, did defeat Cody and Seth here, and pretty straightforward match, but definitely started off slow, but got pretty entertaining and whatnot towards the end. Very long match, as we said. I think this one went 40 plus minutes here. But the main thing I took away from this, I thought Rock looked great in this match. I thought he knew his kind of limitations, didn't blow himself up. You know what I mean? Just came in, hit his spots, realized that he's not The Rock from 2000. Not to go, maybe that pace and try to go as fast as he did, but be, that heel Rock, be a little more deliberate, know when to hit his spots. I thought he looked really, really good. The spot where Cody hit Rock with a rock bottom through a table was pretty good. That was good stuff there. Roman getting his stuff in, and Rock finally pulling it out when he got the tag. Roman tagged him in to put the finishing touches on Cody, and he hit the rock bottom and the people's elbow and put him down to kind of he brought it up on Raw. He's like, yeah, you won the title on night 2, but I pinned your ass right in the middle of the ring on night 1, so just keep that in mind. Moving forward, but I thought still a really entertaining main event, and a little stretched out, but still I thought really, really good stuff. But Jacob, what do you think of this main event here?
Yeah, I thought this was really good. I think it actually may have surpassed my expectations. I was like, The Rock, like, what's he gonna do? Like, because we saw him with Jinder, and he kind of was getting gassed a little bit, which is weird because the guy's like in insane shape. But I guess ring shape is a little bit different.
Ring shape is different than being a bodybuilder. You know what I mean? It just is.
Yeah. So I was like, we'll see, and then. Like, it doesn't feel, to me at least, like a 45-minute match, because I think they were able to tell a good story, and I was invested, and I love that The Rock leans into like his being on the board and like makes that a part of his character, like hey, if you count me out, you're fired. And then I'm pretty sure whoever was in charge of bleeping the curse words may have been fired as well, because they did not do a good job either.
Afterwards.
He dropped one, and then they beeped it 3 seconds after, a little too late. It's like,
I loved that. They kind of split off a little bit. Rock and Seth, Roman, and Cody. I remember we were watching, Austin and I was like, come on, you have 2 cameras, right? And then as soon as I said that, they went into the split screen. I was like, okay, thanks for listening. You do listen to the fans. I'm a little surprised. I guess I'm not surprised, actually, that The Rock, he got the pin, because I think this could lead into some like long-term booking, maybe SummerSlam, maybe WrestleMania next year. Who knows? But I think we at some point see The Rock versus Cody. And it should definitely be. This is the one time where I think it's going to be okay that it's for the title. Like, The Rock and Roman didn't need the title. That was why I was hesitant on that match. I think The Rock and Cody for the title could be pretty interesting down the line.
Mm-hmm. I think that's what they're setting it up for, is maybe SummerSlam, because that would give enough time for Rock to go off and film his movie for the next month or two, whatever he was going to go off and film. Then he could get back in the gym again.
He's doing an A24 movie with the Safdie brothers.
Yeah. So
the UFC movie with that about
Mark Kerr.
Mark Kerr, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see how that turns. Yeah, well, go off and probably film that, then come back, get back in ring shape, and do his thing. I think that's what they're probably setting up for. So we'll just get some other stuff in the meantime.
Weird sidetrack real quick. I think Black Adam bombed, and he got taken out, and he's like, I'm going to do some interesting shit. I'm going to do wrestling. I'm going to find me some interesting character roles. I think we're about to see a really cool Rock these next few years. I'm getting that vibe from him. Where he's like, all right, fine. You guys don't want Skyscraper and Rampage too? I'm gonna fucking give you something, all right? I don't know.
I think it's a Rampage too.
Isn't that what we've been asking for The Rock to do though? Is to not do shit.
Like I said, we got Heel Rock back. I never thought we'd see Heel Rock on TV. He's doing the Safdie Brothers movie. Like, I don't know. I'm enjoying.
I don't think anybody was clamoring for Rampage 2 and San Andreas 2. I think
just making that shit up. I know San Andreas 2 was on the docket for a while.
Yeah. I don't even know how you do a San Andreas 2. Oh, it happened again.
I'm not clamoring for a Rampage 2.
We're about to see Twisters.
If a Rampage 2 is announced, I'd be like, I'll see that eventually.
Yeah, I watch anything. Yeah,
I'll watch that on streaming eventually.
Yeah.
Richie, what did you think?
Yeah, no, I thought this match was pretty good, and I liked Seth Rollins' entrance is ridiculous. With his fucking stupid. It looked like he was looked like he was going to the Met Gala or something with his stupid fucking.
It looked like something Lady Gaga would wear.
I meant to be confused. Just like that hat. I like his hat. He's like, I don't think it's that. I don't think it's that. But the people following him, I'm like, I went to my friends. I'm like, is that it looks like Adam Rose's entourage.
That might have been local wrestlers, but I guess they're just like a local jam band or some shit.
Yeah.
There was one of the entrances. I think it was on night 2. I looked at JPO and I go, "All right, time to spot the indie wrestlers." On the rampway, whichever one it was.
I know. Bailey confirmed AJ Kirsch was one of hers. Yeah, so it's usually it's workers.
Yeah. But there was God knows there was enough in town for the weekend that you could have plenty to choose from.
Yeah. So but it was good. But yeah, the match itself was great, and I thought The Rock.
I miss Raw Underground. Raw Underground was all my buddies because it was Florida. It was during the pandemic. Every week I was like, "There's Dan, there's Chelsea, there's
Chico."
There's Chico getting beat up.
But. Yeah, I thought the match was really good. Rock. I thought The Rock, like you said, he can use limitations, but it worked on really well. We'll see how much he's truly got with his match with Cody. Be interesting. I guess it depends on how filming lines up, whether they do it at SummerSlam or Mania. I would, if a fan preference for me, I'd probably prefer SummerSlam, but that might be too soon. I don't know. That was really good. I think it was just. I don't think the result, when you think about it, was ever in doubt. I think Cody and Roman in a normal match would have been kind of boring because we've just seen that. So, having the deck stacked against Cody would be the way to go. So, it was a really good match. And while it is sort of very, very long, it didn't feel that way. So, it was entertaining.
Yeah, JPU.
Yeah, everything everyone has said so far. This might be my favorite match of the night. I just had a lot of fun with this. The Rock looked great here. They packed a lot into it. Like you said, you don't feel it's 45. If you had asked me, I would have said probably in the early 30s, maybe. You know what I mean? So kudos to them on that. It's not like an Edge or any Orton one where you're feeling it. You know what I mean? For the length. So no, this was a lot of fun here. I think I dug this a lot. It was fun.
No, it was a good lead up. So, like I said, that had the implications to where they walked away with Cody having the same kind of sit down pose that he did after WrestleMania last year. Looking a little dejected. He's got the odds stacked against him going into night 2, but it was a good way to kind of set that up. And we went into night 2 of WrestleMania.
Who'd have thought the overbooked match of night 1 would have been the tag team match between Ray and Andrade and
with all the
Santos and
chaos going
Dominic.
on. Yeah. There was a lot of book stuff on night 2, though. Sure is a lot going on, but a lot of it went pretty right. We started off pretty hot with an opener with the World Heavyweight title with Drew McIntyre defeating Seth freaking Rollins, and really only like JPO Confectionery, like a 10-minute match or something, 10, 11 minutes. It wasn't very long, bell to bell.
Meet in the middle, Pez, 10.5.
10.5. So yeah, there you go. And it certainly felt like it, yeah, because Drew hits a big Claymore, just kind of to start, and then really was putting the pressure on Seth most of the match, hitting the future shocks, which CM Punk kind of winced at on commentary. He was out there chiming in on everything. But yeah, Drew just a lot of back and forth kind of big moves here, and yeah, eventually Drew was able to take down Seth with those Claymores and won the title, albeit for a few minutes because right after the fact, and we'll talk about kind of the 2 and 1 here, but he would get into a little scrum with CM Punk. Speaking of scrums, at ringside with Punk, he kind of poked the bear a little bit too much. Punk got up and started wailing on Drew, laid him out with the arm brace thing. He took it off for a second. I was like, is he healed up? Is he good? Did he finish the rehab early like a John Cena? And I don't think he has. I don't think he has been cleared yet, but he's probably healed enough to where he could do the spot. But yeah, and then they hit the music. Damien came out, took advantage of the situation, cashed in his money in the bank, hit the South of Heaven, and defeated Drew McIntyre. And Drew was left laid out in the ring. And CM Punk, I did like the shot of him sitting cross-legged on the announce table, applauding everything, all the stuff that had gone on. And yeah, a few little things in between. Drew live tweeting during the thing, having fun at work or whatever the hell, he's bored at work as he tweeted, and then he followed it up with
that was great.
Afterwards, he just tweeted fuck after he lost. So good stuff again, letting these guys experiment with some things. But yeah, JPO, your thoughts on really both, because it's all one big long segment here. But anyone Damien? Yeah.
No, I mean, I think another fun, smart way to open up Mania here. Again, you book in it with your 2, title matches here, men's title matches. In one way, I was a little disappointed because really the back and forth match I kind of wanted here, it was a spam the finishers kind of, match from the get go here. But it does make sense here. It kind of reminded me of like a Brock Lesnar match where it's just, how much can the face put up with before he finally gets put down. But it does make sense to him. Don't forget, Seth Rollins, not even 24 hours. So, I mean, at this point, probably 21 hours was in a 45-minute match. So, and he's hurt probably going into that match here. So this is probably the smart match to do. You know what I mean? You give Drew the nice win, fun moment with Punk, followed by Priest finally cashing in. 9 seconds I have written down from the bell for the Priest match. And it starts off in a fun here. Double champ. Drew got his moment for a minute. And, interested to see where Priest is going to go. Fun way to start the show.
Yeah, good way to start the show, Richie.
Yeah, I'm really liking Drew at the moment as well. I think if we do it when we do a year in awards, I'm hoping at the moment at least he would definitely be up there for a nomination for the rest of the year. I think this pissed off Drew is really great. He had a really good promo on Raw. He called Priest bondage Undertaker, just really funny. But this was really great. Yeah, it was not what. Basically Claymore straight away, but it was great. But it's still really fun, 10.5 minute match. I mean, and then once Punk laid him out in my eyes, this is it. He's gonna do it here, and then Priest won. I hope. I don't expect Priest to hold it for for a lengthy time or anything like that, but I hope he has it for a couple of months. I'm guessing it's Priest and unless they do Priest and Jey Uso on Raw, I think it'll be Priest and Jey Uso at Backlash. I expect Priest to win that, and then maybe drop it back to Drew at Clash of the Castle. Maybe we'll see what happens. But I wouldn't mind Priest having a decent run, because when he came out with the title, the crowd were quite receptive to it, and they were saying you deserve it.
But I mean, again, they could also do if Finn gets a little jealous and they do Damien and Finn, back and forth. If Damien starts getting as more of a face and, have a little bit of more heel Finn Balor kind of going after him, you could do that for at least a month or so.
I made the point for him. It's if you're in a faction and one of your faction members wins the world championship, that never bodes well for the future of your faction, because jealousy.
Just look at how when Randy Orton won the title at SummerSlam 04, but Triple H is kind of the leader of the group, and that's when they did the thumbs down, So I mean, you could do something similar here. He's in a faction and Finn's kind of still the leader, but Damien's the champion. That never seems to work out well for the egos.
It's just the jealousy always ruins a faction. So I think that's probably going to happen eventually. But no, this was fun while it lasted, and I'm looking forward to if Punk and Drew whenever that inevitably happens. But yeah, I'm liking Drew's character at the moment. He's great.
Jacob, thoughts on that?
I mean, let's be honest. Rhea Ripley is the leader of the Judgment Day. So Rhea versus Damien for the World Heavyweight Championship. Book it, Triple H. If any woman could be a world champion in WWE, Rhea Ripley could do it. I thought the Drew and Seth was smartly booked not to go too long, because Seth is kind of hurt, and I think you could kind of tell by the main event, like he's due for some time off, and well deserved too.
No, I mean, he carried that belt for a while, so go home and get some rest, buddy. Do your thing. You deserve some rest, and then you can come back strong, and a couple months down the line.
worked injured for a while, so props to him. And shout out Damian Priest finally getting his cash in and getting that belt. I didn't know lead into Money in the Bank that I could see Priest as a world champion, and now that he's a world champion, I think he carries that title pretty well. I thought at the press conference that we watched afterwards, I think he holds himself very well. Like he's somebody that I could see being like a secondary world champion for quite some, not like a lengthy title run, not like a Seth length, but give him 3 or 4 months, give him from now to SummerSlam, and I think he could be a good like co-main event for SummerSlam against like a Finn or a Drew. That's where Drew gets the title back or whatever. So I think this was all very smartly booked. Even though there was a lot going on, I think they did it really well.
Yeah. No, it was good stuff all around. So a good hot way to start off the show. That we then had maybe one of our kind of clusterfucks of the night, but kind of in a fun way because it was hurting somebody on commentary. Because we had the pride of Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits taking out the Final Testament of Karrion Kross and AOP. I mean, it wasn't much to talk about match wise. It was just a lot of people hitting each other with shit, back and forth. Not much structure to it, doing the thing. But the main reason, that this was entertaining was a certain one Snoop Dogg on commentary promoting his gin and juice, and then just giving. I mean, it was his hood commentary because he was calling it hood fights, talking about his girl who would get into fights with him, what you would do on the streets. I mean, he was calling it like he saw it, like he was calling one of those like bump fight videos or something. And I don't know if you see it. Him and Kevin Hart have done commentary for like other sports on YouTube sometimes, and like for either fights or like Olympic Games or whatever, and it's pretty damn funny. So he's no stranger to this, and it's pretty damn entertaining. It's kind of everything you can want from Snoop Dogg. You don't want him on a whole show, but for just one match for 10 minutes or whatever it was, I say it was pretty fun and kind of made this match maybe way better than it kind of had any right to. But Jacob, what do you think of this whole segment here? We forgot to mention, Bubba Ray Dudley coming out to be the special referee in Philly was fun, and doing some of the spots at the end. A completely biased referee. Boy, did he go all in with Lashley and the Street Profits, just completely going on to one side, not being unbiased at all, but helping them out with the tables stuff at the end. But Jacob.
I'm gonna be honest. If Snoop Dogg wasn't on commentary, this might be the one match of the night that I was like, I didn't like that. I Bubba Ray as special guest ref, cool, fine. Philly connection, ECW, I get it. But I also, again, much like the match, the tag team match from the night before, it's like I don't want to see the faces getting the extra help to win when the story doesn't really call for it. Like Bubba Ray, like if the special guest referee had a connection to Karrion Kross and AOP and whatever, fine. But Bubba Ray doesn't, as far as I know. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. It just, like you said, it was a cluster. They were just hitting each other. There were some pretty cool moves. Montez Ford going over the turnbuckle. That spot was pretty cool. Yeah, but like when the highlight of the match is Snoop Dogg on commentary, maybe the match quality isn't the best. Again, I didn't hate the match, but if I was going to go back and watch matches or recommend matches from WrestleMania 40, this might be in that bottom 3 as well.
Sure, Richie.
Yeah, I just thought the Final Testament should win. Don't know what's up with my dog sneezing. But yeah, I don't. Yeah, Final Testament should have won here. I just think they needed probably all the help they could get. But yeah, like Super Don commentary's fun. He's also done commentary. There's a series on with UFC called Dana White's Contender Series, and he was on season 1 of it. They experimented with something with Snoop Cast where he was on commentary with Uriah Faber, and all of the fighters didn't like it because he was joking around, and he was even smoking weed with Uriah Faber at one point, and just I thought it was fun, but yeah, like you couldn't have it for the whole, you couldn't continue it going on, but I think he has his place. I think it's fun. So yeah, look, so I did think it added to the match. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not like a. This match was there. I would have had participant go over, but it is what it is. It was fun, but yeah, I was gonna say I didn't know, like, oh man, they're kind of buried the Final Testament here, but they showed up on NXT this week, like attacking the new tag team champions. So I'm guessing AOP versus the Axiom, Nathan Fraser Axiom. It's so hard because one of the AOP members is called Akam. So anyway, but Axiom is probably the way forward. But yeah, this is what it was. It was fun. It was fun. Nothing to blow away or anything.
Sure. Yeah, JPO, any thoughts on this? No, it was just kind of a clusterfuck with a little Snoop Dogg thrown in, but yeah.
Yeah, it breaks the pace. So I actually don't mind this match at all. You know what I mean? Like, because we had pretty normal matches, a little bit of like interference in the triple threat that we're talking about here. But this is a fine, kind of change of pace. 6 guy, Philly street fight, here, some table spots, this, that, and the other. Snoop Dogg commentary was entertaining, as said, perfect. Wouldn't want it for the whole show, but just to break things up is fine. Bringing out the ECW legend too. I like little add-ons like that too. You know what I mean? It's Mania, why not? I definitely disagree that Final Testament should have won here. I think both of these teams kind of needed a win, and I think the Pride are the bigger stars that can actually go farther. I think AOP has a ceiling. I think the Street Profit ceiling is way higher, same as Bobby to Karen to a degree, and they haven't really established themselves as a team either. This is finally a nice big win for the Pride. Hopefully going forward, maybe establishing them even more. I could see Street Profits potentially going after Grayson and Theory, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna go. So yeah, I thought it was fine. Like you said, kind of like the tag title match. I like the 6-woman tag from the night before. Doable, but not something I'm gonna go out of my way again to ever see.
No, totally. Yeah, and then we had a match that they've been doing some kind of interesting angles with and whatnot, even at the the World. Them getting into a little scuffle there. We had
Caught
LA
in a
Knight.
couple places.
Yeah, right. LA Knight defeating AJ Styles in what I thought was a pretty well worked match. I think both these guys worked really hard, had some good chemistry here. Yeah, pretty straightforward stuff. Not really a lot of shenanigans and whatnot going on, but I thought they finally gave LA Knight kind of a big win here. Made him look good. Crowd was into him. AJ looked great. Hasn't really lost a step, as we've been saying. Dude's in his mid-40s now, but he still looks great. Still moves great, and some of the best shape of his life. Obviously, looking awesome. And yeah, just I mean, not a whole lot to write home about storyline wise, but just a really good, solid match with two big stars. So I enjoyed it for what it was. JPO, what do you think of this?
No, I like this one as well. Yeah, this one might have maybe because outside of like the build up lately, I was like, oh, it's another we need something for these two here. But I think they've done enough job, the TV and all the little extras here. I'm kind of building up to it. It's been built up since Chamber. And yeah, no, I thought these two delivered here. They had 13 minutes. They kind of maximized their minutes. Worked a pretty smart match. It felt like it hit on pretty much every level here. You know what I mean? I don't know if I would. Maybe a couple more minutes, but I think what they had, it was kind of perfect here. This was a really good, you know, just mid card, but in the best of way, best essence of that,
Yeah, for sure, Richie.
Yeah, I thought it was a really good match. I think LA Knight. I think the right person went over. LA Knight needed the win because he came off a couple of losses here. But yeah, and I think AJ's at that point where he doesn't he could lose and it won't hurt him at all. But yeah, and he's still one of the best workers in the company. So it's he put on a great match, and LA Knight's great too. So yeah, it's a great match, and that chant still super over. So I don't think it's gonna. But yeah, it'll be good to see where it goes from here. Really good match. I liked it.
Yeah, Jacob.
Yeah, I mean, this was the biggest match of LA Knight's career, so I mean, he had to deliver. It was bigger than the crown jewel match against Roman Reigns for the title. It was bigger than the Fatal 4-Way for the title as well. It was
No,
bigger than the elimination.
I said that. I was like,
Yeah,
it's not bigger than a main event title match. Like, what are you talking about? Stop it.
it's a big match, and I think they both delivered pretty
Hype that it's his biggest Mania match.
right.
You know what I mean? Like hype that you don't have to bullshit. That's all.
Yeah.
Fucking hype without being fucking dumb about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I much like Drew and Seth though, is like we've seen LA Knight and AJ before. Like they gave this match away on free TV, and I think there was a finish to that one too. So it's like I was like I'm not overly excited about it, but I'm still like I'm gonna watch it. Like it's LA Knight, AJ Styles. They're two really good workers. I think they built it up pretty nicely, and yeah, I think they delivered a really good match.
Yeah, no, it was good stuff. Yeah, we had another pretty just solid match overall. I think maybe with an outcome that we kind of thought was maybe inevitable, but not totally sure. Logan Paul retaining his U.S. title here against Randy Orton and Kevin Owens. Should mention the Kevin Owens entrance riding the golf cart down to the ring. Randy Orton jumping on the back and then looked like he was scared of his life. Oh my God! It was Kevin Owens speeding all the way. Even the commentators were like, "Slow down, Kevin! Oh my God, don't kill Randy before you get to the ring." Jesus Christ, that was ridiculous. Yeah, there was somebody again. Logan came out in a giant, humongous truck. That's the biggest pickup truck ever.
Prime truck.
Yeah, big giant prime truck shooting a cannon of fireworks off the back and whatnot, and then somebody conspicuously in a prime bottle following him to the ring. So always suspicious there in the corner.
Not our truth.
It was not R-Truth. It was not even KSI. It was somebody that none of us knew.
Speed.
Somebody that none of us knew who the fuck it was.
I have not found a single person. I've talked about this with multiple people.
Yeah.
There was like 8 of us watching it live. I've talked to multiple people. Nobody knows who the fuck this was.
No, all of us on the stream were like, I don't know who that is. Who is it?
I've heard the name, but I don't know. Like,
I've never even heard the name.
You're higher than I am, Jacob, because I've never even heard this fucking.
Yeah, never even heard who it was. I think it should have been Jake Paul. I consider that because at least he's relevant and has like a match with Mike Tyson going. You know, he's got stuff going on. People kind of know who he is.
Yeah, brother. But then I guess he could have actually because Logan didn't win. I said then he can't really get attacked. But
oh wow,
he can get attacked. Why can't he do a spot? Yeah, he could absolutely do a spot.
He's not going to be put through a table when he's about to fight Mike Tyson. He's not doing that.
ISO Speed is only 19 years old too.
Cool. Get the fuck off my television.
Yeah. Although I did think it was funny when he barked at Randy and Randy almost broke character and just started laughing and then beat the shit out of him. He kicked the shit out of him, by the way. He's just he's wearing a big padded suit. I'm just gonna kick him right in the gut.
I think Randy Orton was like, fuck it. I don't respect
who cares? I don't know who this guy is either. Let's get rid of him in the worst way.
I think he took that RKO pretty well. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, no, it was a good RKO. Well, props to him. You know, he took a good spot. Yeah, there was some good stuff in the match here. Some good spots with all three of these guys. Just really, really solid. You know, two professionals in there with Logan, kind of making everybody look good here. And yeah, Logan's finisher. Can we just say his finisher is the power of the punch? Is that what it is at this point from Regal? Like if he was in a video game, is that the finishing move? Just pulling it out of the tights and whacking somebody with it?
Well, he's in a video game, so I don't know if it is the power of the punch.
Yeah, I feel like maybe it's the frog splash. I don't know because I guess the frog splash is kind of his other thing. Well, there was one spot where we were watching, and I was like, he lays out Randy Orton, right? And he goes to pin him, and Randy kicks out, and they just sits there by the ropes, like dumbfounded. I was like, why don't you just jump on top of him with the brass knuckles and just beat the shit out of him, like and pin him again? I don't. That was one logical thing. I was like, that doesn't make any sense. But yeah, it's just a minor nitpick here, but really, really good stuff. I think Logan's just such natural. He's killing it right now, and I can see him holding this title for a little while longer. So we'll see what happens. They've talked about he was originally from Cleveland, and I think SummerSlam's in Cleveland, so they could be building up something for Cleveland, you know, for his sort of hometown thing. But Jacob, what did you think of this one overall?
Yeah, I really like this match. I think this might be my second favorite match from night 2, because I think all three put in some pretty good work here, some pretty good spots. Yeah, I think Logan continues to impress me with how, you know, he's not new, but it's been like what 3 Manias now, and so two years from Mania to this Mania, and yeah, I think it's easy to say like he's improving, and like no 2 Logan Paul matches are actually the same. Like I think we see him pull out some new stuff every match. Randy, he's just one of the best to ever get in the WWE ring, and Kevin Owens is highly entertaining. So I knew that these three were going to put on a banger here, and I think that's what we got. So yeah, no, really, really good match, and I wouldn't mind seeing them run it back at Backlash. Like if they wanted to do a triple threat rematch, like I'm all for it. Leave Speed at home and just go with the 3 of them. I'm for it.
Yeah, Richie.
Yeah, While you get distracted by Ross. Anyway,
and it was Jewish. Sorry.
What the fuck is he talking about? Anyways, oh my god, what is he talking about?
One thing I forgot to mention that did annoy me on the show, and it's probably just going to be a thing throughout pay-per-views, unfortunately. You know, it's just new age capitalism. Like every match is brought to you by something. Like that's what hurt. That's what hurt the Usos match for me. It was brought to you by Dude Wipes. It's like this big Dude Wipes thing on the screen.
Dude Wipes. There was the gin and juice thing. The Ray match was sponsored by like something Fresca drink or whatever it was, Minute Maid, Al Fresca, whatever the hell it was called. Yeah, all kinds of stuff.
But this is supposed to be like this is supposed to be like this big sort of blood feud, and you've got it kind of like I don't know. it kind of it distracts you from that. But yeah, in regards to this match, I thought it was really good. Logan Paul is really good. He doesn't feel out of place here at all. I like his frog splash. It looks more like the lowdown, which was one of my favorite frog splashes, like D'Lo Brown's frog splash.
But he deserved the world title.
Huh? Yeah.
He deserved the world title.
Yeah, you're never gonna let me let that down. Look, I have an argument for that. I just didn't bring it to the table. And look, I think it was really good. There was part of me like the semi thing. I'm like, because you saw like before that match, you saw like Sammy and Kevin lock out. It's just like, oh, now it's your turn. I'm like, oh, Kevin's winning this match, isn't he? No, I thought it'd be a cool moment, but yeah, I was like. But there were some good false finishes here. That I'm like, oh, okay, like that pop-up power bomb into the RKO. That was a great RKO. Mm-hmm. And I'm the only one who voted for Randy Orton. I'm like, yes, come on, I can do this. And night two, I came unstuck here. But yeah, no, Logan Paul winning makes sense. WWE did that thing where we should know every celebrity that exists, or every even
well, and especially if it's a celebrity in Logan Paul's circle, but I don't live in Logan Paul's circle, so I don't know who all these people are. That
was for the kids that were watching.
Yeah, I guess for the 12-year-olds that know who that guy is. I don't know.
The subsection of celebrity that are streamers and all this stuff. I have no idea. I have no idea, and so they didn't really do a good explaining because I generally just thought it was KSI again. I'm like, okay.
Come on, know your YouTube personalities, Richie.
Listen, when Mr. Beast is in the Prime Battle next year, then I'll give a shit.
Yeah, that guy has 100 million subscribers, so yeah, most people know who that guy is. But I didn't think this guy has a million subscribers. Yeah,
I'm going to be in the Prime Battle next year.
There's a section at my supermarket, right, which has just got and it's just like a little small section. And it's got the Prime bottles, but then up the top it's got Mr. Beast. It's like. Bar like chocolate bar. Feasibles. I'm like, we live in a weird timeline where that's like there's just a subsection of the supermarket where it's just
YouTube.
YouTube personality products.
It works. It works, dude.
I know.
My niece all of a sudden she wanted Feastables, she wanted Prime, it fucking worked, dude.
It works because I bought a Prime that day, but still,
Prime is everywhere, dude. I have a case of Prime Energy. I got it at the Sam's Club, dude. It's there, it's everywhere, bro.
Yeah,
and it's actually pretty good.
It's pretty good. I like his products. That's why I said
get away from this. Honest, if I thought it
get away from all this NFT crypto shit, Logan. You got a good, legitimate business product. Just keep rolling with that. You're fine. You got a successful product.
Anyone? Right now. I think you guys did catch the Gatorade chants during the.
No, Gatorade. There was We Want Water. Yeah, they were chanting things that weren't Prime. I thought that was hilarious. That was a first.
Yeah, and then throughout the night, people would be thrown into the little Prime stand that they had set up.
Oh yeah, they kept knocking over the Prime hydration station that they called it, which I know JPO was out looking for that WrestleMania flavor. We couldn't find it anywhere. Yeah, try it.
I got some blues, but I ain't finding them.
Yeah, right. JPO, any quick thoughts on this one before we?
No, I meant to say from the last match, we're in the smooth sailing territory. As far as quality here, this is a really fun put together triple threat match here. 18 minutes almost here, so given I think the perfect amount of time here. Sometimes I feel these 3 and 4 ways are kind of rushed. These 3 told a fun story here. Enough moments where again, like you said, they had the Sammy thing, so it's like, oh, maybe Kevin and Randy Orton's kind of he's been pretty hot since he's returned. You know what I mean? Because he had a big sabbatical. But yeah, Logan keeps it. I'm happy with that. This was a fun put together triple threat match here. Yeah, I dug this one a lot as well. Yeah,
no, we're definitely in the smooth sailing portion because we kept it going. I think WWE. I don't know if JP would agree with it. They might be in a phase where they're not let's not have cooldown matches. Let's just have good matches leading all the way up to the main event. Yeah. Because you look at night 1, you had the Sami Zayn and Gunther match leading right into the main event. No need for any kind of cooldown. Hey, crowds will be with you if you just keep the good matches going. They'll usually be right there because they had a women's title match here before the main, but it was great. It was an excellent match with Bayley defeating Io Sky. crowd super into Bailey here, ready for the win. But yeah, just really, really good work overall. My only nitpick is I just don't like her finisher right now. I think it looks lame. That rose thing or whatever it looks like.
It's basically it's almost like LA Knight's move almost, but it's very similar.
Yeah. I think if she was gonna win big, just win, bring it full circle with the NXT thing. Just win with like a top rope Bailey to belly. Like that's like what.
Even the elbow drop's fine.
Yeah, even the elbow. Yeah, just I think the finisher looks lame, but hey, she gets the win here. She looked great. JPO, any thoughts on this other women's title match here on night 2?
No, so I had to go back to it because this is definitely my net match of the night. But I went back to it. And
oh, that's right. Yeah,
you
were saving your energy for the main event. I understand.
What happened to Bailey?
Yeah,
that's all I remember. I saw her with some Egyptian people. That's weird.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I think this is right on par with night 1's title match. Rhea and Becky. Maybe that one is slightly more over because again, I feel like. This is even more so. I was like, there's no way Bailey's not taking it. I think she was just right for it here. She's been so charming on the post media like scrums. Like, she's having a lot of fun here. I look forward to her next defense here. I don't know, maybe we'll just slide into her in Dakota, maybe. I don't know, we'll see. But I'm looking forward to it here. I love Bailey here. I've enjoyed Ding Dong Hello. I've enjoyed her as a Mania host, her returning at SummerSlam. And now getting a big match here at Mania here. Yeah, that was a good match here. These two actually work pretty well together here. Maybe if that's just a rematch, I'm down for that.
Yeah, for sure. I can see a rematch out of this one. I look forward to it. Richie?
Yeah, it's probably blew away my expectations. Like, these two are great workers or anything, but like the build up to this match wasn't the best as far as like everything, compared to everything else. But like, yeah, people are really into Bailey. I think Bailey's one of my favorite workers on the roster as well. I think she's certainly one of my favorite. I like that 4 horsewoman sort of stable here, and she's I love her entrance. And I'm glad she's sort of. I feel like this is sort of Bailey's sort of huge moment here. I'm looking to see. Hopefully she has a lengthy run here. I don't know if they do like Bailey and maybe Kai next, or Bailey and I'm not sure where they go, but I'm looking for. Hopefully, she has a decent reign here because it was a really good match. That win with that. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of the rose. I think it's a rose plant finisher either. But like the way that Io got out the first one was kind of cool. The athleticism. So I do hope Io doesn't also get just lost in the shuffle again, because I think she is a world women's championship contender, and she could get really over the baby face eventually as well. Definitely. This match is great.
Yeah, Jacob.
Yeah, I thought this was a really solid match. Yeah, like GPO said, kind of on par with the women's match from night 1 almost. I would love to see a rematch between these two at Backlash. Yeah, because I think these two worked really well together. So yeah, I'd like to see them run it back. See what Bailey can do with this round. Like these guys said, maybe a Bailey versus a Dakota Kai, or maybe I would even love to see Bailey versus like a Naomi, and kind of like a that could be like the match before SummerSlam or whatever. Like you want to give Bailey a pay-per-view match, but it's like, well, she's not going to lose it, so who can we put her up against? And so I think Naomi could get a pretty good match out of her. Which it's unfortunate to say that about Naomi after she's only returned like 3 months ago, but unfortunately, I don't see her
job her out again.
Exactly, and it's unfortunate because I think she's obviously.
I get it. You're not feeling the glow. I get it.
No, I'm feeling the glow, but I just think it's unfortunate that there's only 2 women's championships, and there's like
that's a pretty big side note, though. Was NXT's debuting a second women's title?
Oh yeah. So maybe. I mean, they're not against putting people back down to. They're not against putting people down to NXT, so maybe Naomi can go get a NXT whatever mid card title run. If Becky Lynch can go back to NXT and win their women's championship, it's not above Naomi either. She can do it. That's no slight on Naomi. I don't don't hear what I'm not saying. I'm just saying.
I did not say that.
Okay.
You're fighting an invisible person. We're all good. We know what you mean.
We know what you mean. We're fine. You're fine.
You guys know what I mean. But people are gonna be like, he doesn't like women. And I'm like, no, that's not true.
Fez.
No, that's me. I'm the one who doesn't like women's wrestling.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so it's fine. I'm the one who doesn't draft any women when we do drafts. It's fine.
Even when we do women's drafts, it's weird.
Yeah, I know. I draft nothing but men dressed up as women over the years.
Arvina.
Yeah.
Remember Skip and Zim had Cloudy instead of Sunday?
Yeah. That's who I drafted. Hey, they competed for women's title accounts.
But at least he drafted Katie Vick, so at the end.
Yeah. It was a good pick. Speaking of that, so thinking of Triple H's booking, let's see. Let's go to Cody Rhodes here, defeating Roman Reigns, finally getting his moment, finishing his story against Roman Reigns. But go ahead, during some troubles to get there with the Bloodline rules, which I was surprised how much they kind of held off the Bloodline, rules aspect of it for a while, other than a few kind of early spots with one or two little weapons and whatnot. But they really didn't start the interference till about halfway through the match. We got the usual kind of who was out first? Solo? Was Solo the first one out there?
Yeah. I think it was Jimmy.
Oh, that's right, because Jimmy came out first. Jay cut him off. They did the off the stage. That was a long way down, by the way. That wasn't just like a 4 foot off the stage. They went a long way.
They do that kind of spot in the match. Just like,
that spot may have been more exciting than their whole match. Yeah, honestly, and a little bit more heat to it. But yeah, they went off the stage there. I think Solo was the next guy out. Came in and did his thing to only be cut off, and it made sense even for booking wise to be cut off by John Cena, who they've had a little program before. Cena getting his revenge on Solo, so that made sense. Came out, gave him the AA through the table, so that was announce table. That was great. And then again, it made sense booking wise because The Rock comes out. The Rock and Cena at WrestleMania have a history together, and you could tell Cena kind of was having little flashbacks to that. He sold it really well. Kind of like looking at him and going, "All right, I guess I got to try to do something here." It's like, well, he slid in the ring and they had a little face off. The crowd remembered that. Obviously, he tried to get a shot, but The Rock cut him off, hit the rock bottom. And then, I think we all kind of thought this next spot was maybe kind of tailor-made for a Stone Cold Steve Austin. Maybe it would have made a little more sense as far as
hold on.
Speaking, but,
Before this one, can't forget Seth Rollins.
Oh, that's right. No, I do. You know why I forget Seth Rollins? Because he's a geek, and he came in armed, by the way, with a chair, and still got cut off.
It came out to Shield music, so there was like a part of me. I don't know why this would never happen. They could never happen. Like, did John Moxley agree to be in this at WrestleMania? I thought maybe like.
We all had that moment, man. We're not alone.
I thought Seth and Dean at this point, Dean were coming out, and then like Roman sees him at the corner of his eye and immediately
Superman punches him and just cuts him off, even though Seth was armed with a chair. But cuts him right off. Yeah, no problems there. But yeah, The Rock.
Two WrestleMania moments for me.
But The Rock was out there. The final boss was in the ring, and we got the gong for the Undertaker. Appropriately, the lights went out, lights came back on. Undertaker's in the ring, basically kind of pulling a similar spot to the Boneyard match with AJ and Undertaker, kind of the behind the back, looking, brooding, behind him, doing his thing as the Undertaker's one to do. Choke slam The Rock, and then just disappeared again, as the Undertaker does. Came in, did his thing, disappeared again, and Rock disappeared too. I thought they were maybe like, oh, Undertaker dragged him to hell or whatever, because he kind of disappeared for a while until after the match. In the ring, they did some stuff where Roman was about to hit Cody with the chair, but hit Seth instead to do a little callback to their, when Seth turned on Roman back in the day with the shield. So that was a nice little callback for those who caught it and remembered that. I think the crowd kind of picked up on that a little bit, but that allowed Cody to get the upper hand back and hit the couple of crossroads and won the whole thing and got his moment and won the title. So yeah, I mean, again, a long match, a lot going on, but Roman was really entertaining in the middle of this match where he was, it was a spot where he did the crossroads and then it didn't work, and he looked at Paul and goes, "That move sucks." that was great.
I
always
really
hated
don't want him to win.
Yeah, and he had some other lines just in between stuff.
3 times.
Just kind of shitting on Cody. I thought he was really, really entertaining, like during the match. Like he was really kind of finding his personality there, and it was really. I was like, man, why couldn't he be this entertaining during matches like 5 years ago? Because man, he was really boring most of the time. But if it was this Roman, I would have been happy with it. But it was really good stuff. Yeah, good stuff overall. Good booking with all the run-ins. It actually, a lot of them, fed into each other and made sense. So I like that. Yeah, good stuff overall. So yeah, JPO, what'd you think of this main event here? A lot going on, but but it was fun.
Overbooked craziness in the best sense of the way. You needed to do that, especially with this being kind of a rematch. We saw interference last year. Obviously we finally got to finish the story here. So yeah, no, this was a lot of fun here. You get the moments, seeing Cena. I'll defend Taker over Stone Cold. I do think that made a little more sense for the people inside the ring. For Rock, yeah, Stone Cold, but for Roman, at least there's a connection to Roman here. I know he's close. Taker was close to Dusty and like Cody himself, so I can see why Taker was there here. And I think Taker's kind of more of their go-to guy for some reason. So Stone Cold might have been more special, but I definitely can understand why it was Taker getting that spot here. And yeah, just a lot of fun here. We finally got our moment here. Post show with again Cody's family. He hands the Mama Rhodes the belt here. Roster, yeah, this is just overall great win and Mania here. And again, 34-minute match that pretty well told her out.
Yeah, for sure, Richie.
Yeah, I thought this was a lot of fun. Yeah, I like even before everybody sort of came out, I thought it was a really well worked match. Yeah, Roman's entertaining. I think the issue is those years is Roman should have been a heel from jump. I think maybe Roman's a great heel. He's just entertaining heel, and yeah, he's just. I've become a Roman fan ever since he turned heel, and yeah, this was a great match. And yeah, like I like the the kind of near falls. Obviously, they did the exact spot with Solo from last year. And it's like, yeah, obviously kicking out, but yeah, it was great. It was great. And then yeah, I expected Austin, but like it was cool. I see Undertaker. Rock didn't really go up from that much, but I guess it's good. It wasn't as bad as like a Hulk Hogan choke slam on Judgment Day, but still. But no, it was really good. So yeah, that obviously like person one. If this was Vince, I could see this going 3 years. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see who Cody gets paired up with next for like Backlash. Guess we'll find out on SmackDown. But yeah, no, this was a really good match. To cap off night 2, which is definitely superior than night 1.
Yeah, for sure. Jacob, any thoughts on the main event here? Way to cap off Mania.
Yeah, we had night 1's Infinity War where the bad guys win, and then we kind of had Endgame where they all come together and the good guys come out on top. It's cool to see Cody Rhodes with the belt. I think he could be the face of the company for quite a few years going forward. I think he could represent the company really well. Overbooked, but in the best way possible because it all made sense. And I like that they waited a good chunk of the match and just let Roman and Cody work because I thought the match that they were having was really good. Roman is such a good heel, like he knows how to get reactions from the audience because as soon as he put that table back, he knew what the crowd was going to do.
What a heel to not use the table and specifically not even just not use it. Yeah, put it back under the ring where he found it.
For the heel to not use weapons and take advantage of the stipulation, but he knows the crowd would love a table spot. And nope, I'm not going to give you what you want. Screw you. It was really good. I loved the finish with Seth and Roman. Yeah, sure. Seth looked like a geek, whatever. But again, we've all mentioned that he deserves the time off that he's getting, and yeah, him walking away from that match. He only took two spots, but he's like he looked like, and he could just be selling, but he looked like, yeah, I need this time off, and I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna play with my kid and just rest. And like I said earlier, well deserved. Yeah, I'm very interested to see how they book Cody's reign going forward. It's like, how do you book the guy who just defeated the 1300 plus day champion? So yeah, I'm very excited to see where WWE goes forward.
Yeah, we'll see what happens going forward. Quick note for the post match that I just thought was amusing. Everybody's in the ring, celebrating with Cody. He cuts his promo. Everybody, nobody was leaving. Give him credit. Everybody's, was celebrating with Cody. And then he gets on the mic and it's like, there's two specific guys I want to thank. And he goes, first one is Bruce Pritchard, and the crowd goes mild because I think they were all like, "Hey, we like you, Cody, but we ain't cheering Bruce Pritchard." Sorry, that's not happening. So
I wanted him to name drop Dustin. I wanted him to name drop him.
No, he didn't. Apparently, Dustin was there in a skybox. He was
Yeah,
there.
so was Ricky Starks and I think QT Marshall.
Keith Lee was also somewhere roaming around. But yeah, they took a locker room photo afterwards.
Keith Lee's with Meech Him. He was at the Hall of Fame too.
Keith Lee.
You could see him during the CM Punk interview.
Yeah. There's a clip going around of him like realizing that he showed up, that he was on camera. And like, oh shit.
Yeah, but yeah, and then he brought out Triple H, and they cheered for him. I just thought the Bruce Pritchard thing was funny because it was like, yeah, you're more of like a Vince guy, so we're not gonna exactly give you a standing ovation, but we'll cheer our guy. Just a minor little note. I thought it was funny.
There's a picture going around. I'll see if I can find it and send it in the chat that we have. But it's of Cody, on I think it's Jay and Sammy's shoulders, and Randy Orton's just giving him the look of like a proud father. Like you could tell the people are like really genuinely happy for Cody.
Okay, yeah, no, that sounds good. That was basically it for WrestleMania. Well, let's get to our part where we, where does this rank overall for Manias? Out of 10, just kind of your overall thoughts on where they do it. Yeah, we've kind of seen this sort of. Underdog sort of finishing their story thing at WrestleMania on the 10s, it seems like. Bret Hart, Benoit, Daniel Bryan, and then Cody. So wait for WrestleMania 50, ladies and gentlemen. And who's the one right now that 10 years from now might get their shot? I don't know. On the roster, we'll see. Somebody's floating around, I'm sure, that gets dumped on. Maybe it's like I don't know.
Chad Gable finally.
Heath Slater,
Chad Gable will be like 40. Like,
Curtis Axel, maybe somebody like that. I don't know. Somebody will get there too.
Nick Ken Midian,
Marshall.
Yeah, they'll get it eventually. But Jacob, overall, where do you think this will? You don't have to obviously, live with it for a little while, but thoughts on where this could end up, sort of in your Mania rankings, and what would you rank kind of the whole affair out of 10, or you can break it up into night 1 and night 2 rankings as well, however you want to do it.
Yeah, it's weird ranking them as a whole because it's like we said, night 2 was significantly. Well, I don't want to say significantly, but it was better than night 1. I think night 1 had a lot of good moments as well, but night 2, like outside the 6-man street fight, which I think I'm in the minority on, there's nothing bad here, like nothing bad. Whereas night 1, those 3 matches that we mentioned were kind of okay. So I think I give night 1 like a 7.5, whereas night 2 it might be teetering that 9 for me. And so, like, again, as far as WrestleManias go, it's hard to rank these ones with the one night WrestleManias, but I definitely think this might be the best 2-night WrestleMania that we've gotten so far.
I would probably agree with that. Richie?
Yeah, I think like night 1 was it was decent, But like, yeah, I think maybe I know I said in the chat like the crowd wasn't great, but I think when I realized after night two, I'm like it might have. I think the maybe the climate the weather played, but maybe played a factor in that because they did they were mentioning a whole bunch of times. Man, it's cold here. Holy hell, it's burning cold here, isn't it?
Like, no, it was warmer night too, so I think the crowd was a little more into it because they weren't just freezing their asses off and getting cold wind blowing in their faces all night, which can dampen your mood a little bit. Yeah,
and then like I like Michael Cole being an unofficial weatherman. It's like, oh, it's 7 degrees there. So yeah, but yeah, night one still pretty good, but night two blew it away in my opinion. I know this was a push by WWE. Oh, this is one of the best WrestleManias ever, but they tend to do that. In the most recent one, they always go, "This is the best ever." The most recent one, this is the best.
Every year's the best.
Yeah, so the biggest WrestleMania of all time.
I don't think they said best. I think they just said biggest.
I heard best at one.
Did you? Okay.
I'm pretty sure they did. Yeah, they seem to always drop that.
I just
Triple H even said that in his scrum. I'm pretty sure that.
I feel like you've got to let the fans decide anyway. I know why you do that, but yeah, I personally.
Randy. Is that the picture you're referring to, Jacob? For the Randy kind of just looking on.
No, there's one. He's got like the biggest grin on his face.
Okay, so
I'll see if I can find it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got another one. I think it might be this one. We go ahead, Richie. I'm sorry.
I personally barring that last year's weird booking decision. I think as a whole last year's was better just for my personally, but yeah, I thought still think this WrestleMania is good. It's not like a mid tier. It's one of the higher up ones, but yeah, I wouldn't call it best, but yeah, I'd still probably give it like a solid 8, 8.5. So I think that's pretty good. It's a really good WrestleMania.
Yeah, that one. Yep.
That's nice.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah. Randy's happy for him. That's fine. So there you go.
And then they do thumbs down, and then they
thumbs down. They drop him. That's right. Randy comes full circle. 20 years later, when they drop Randy looks at him, gives him the thumbs down, and completely goes heel on him.
It's not your time.
No, too early. Yeah. Chip, what'd you think overall here?
No, overall this is a really fun 2 nights here. Not a lot of qualms here. The lows to me are not that low. There isn't some manias where it's like, that's the truth. Why do they do that? There's nothing here where I'm egregiously mad at. And I think their highs are also pretty decently high here. I do agree. I don't know if I agree with Richie or Jacob actually, because I'd have to look back at last year's and see where it flows overly. Because last year was also pretty tight outside of kind of leaving on a whimper on night 2. I think if Cody had won, I feel like that weekend might have been a top 10 easily, top 5 even. This one, I think it's going to stand the test of time of being in probably maybe that top half. I'd have to look because, again, I liked it here. And like you guys said, I'm definitely with night 2 being maybe more in that 8.5, 9 range. And then night 1 being right in the 8.5 range. But overall, solid Mania here. What we're checking out for some reason if you have in here. Again, fun weekend here. I mean, I think WWE has continued now. I don't know the last bad pay-per-view they've had, actually. You know what I mean? Some are better than others, but this holds up as I think a decent WrestleMania.
Yeah, I mean, I think the worst that they've had the last 6 months is maybe 1 or 2 pay-per-views that were really predictable just to kind of get from point A to point B. But even then, if they're still having good matches and the people are still interested in the angles and the crowds, I don't have a problem with that necessarily because you're buying some time till you do the big angles, or whatever, where you do change some titles or whatever. Yeah, I think this Mania will hold up, as far as maybe for a lot of people, maybe a top 10 or top 15 kind of Mania of all time.
That's possible.
Yeah, something like that. It could give it some time. Really good. Like you said, even the low matches are not bad. There's nothing. There was a dud. Where you're just oh man, that was the shits. If I ever watch this thing again, I'll completely skip that. Whatever. Everything was pretty fun overall, and the highs were really really high. And I thought that night 2 flew by. That show was maybe a straight 3 hours. But man, they had the pace up much even better for that second night. Just boom, 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 just keeping you invested. So I really liked it. Yeah, I'd go probably like a 7 to 7.5 for night one. Still good, but yeah, I'd be up to like a 9 for a night two. I thought night two was pretty damn good. So good stuff overall. And yeah, that'll do it. Jacob, have you decided, as the man who won the predictions
Oh my God,
for the
finally.
night with
He finished
eight stories?
man.
He finished the story. He
my
won
birthday.
solo. Yeah, he was the only one. We did not have a three-way tie this time. Yeah, on his
Jacob,
birthday,
if you will,
he is
finish
done.
your story of what we're doing next week.
What we're doing next week. You've talked about a few different ideas, but have you settled on something for next week?
I have.
All right.
And I think I have to say thank you to JPO for the idea, because this was something he had us do, and I think it's so much fun to do just right after Mania that we're going to do it again. We're booking next year's WrestleMania.
Oh,
We're
okay.
doing it again. We're booking next year's WrestleMania.
Because I
WrestleMania
was so successful with that last year. And
it's so much fun.
We should have pulled another episode. Did we get anything right? We probably did Usos, maybe. No.
Some of you had the Usos.
I might have, if I have time, maybe this week I'll have to scroll way back to find that episode.
It'd be interesting to see if we got
anything
right.
If I can find everybody's cards from the last time and see if we got anything right or anything close to being right. We'll see.
Yeah, I know I still have mine somewhere because
I don't know if I wrote it down anywhere. Maybe if I did, I deleted it. But I could go back to the episode and try to get everybody's cards written down and do that. We'll see.
Yeah.
I got mine. Real quick. I did predict Usos. I had a title on it, but still. No.
I know for a fact I had Bailey versus Dakota versus Io. I was almost right.
Becky and Rhea. Oh, I had Bray on mine. So that's sad.
I had Braun versus Braun. I know that Braun Strowman versus Braun Breaker.
I have that too.
I know I had Ilya Dragunov and Gunther. That obviously didn't happen.
I had Edge, so obviously that didn't work out.
Yeah, I'm sure I had.
I had Bailey. I had Bailey as the champ. Actually, I think already by then. So that's the only things I had close. Everything else was did not happen.
So you want us to take a look into the future next week, Jacob, and see if we can
look into the future.
WrestleMania 41. All right.
Year 2025.
Yeah.
How many weeks until is the next one? Is it Dynasty next or is it Backlash?
Dynasty's next.
No, we will be doing Dynasty predictions next week as well.
So
we'll be doing what Jacob wants to do, and then Dynasty predictions. Dynasty's the 21st. So next week we can do predictions for Dynasty. So hopefully they'll have most of the card ready to go by next week after next week's Dynamite.
They've got a decent chunk of it already. So
most of the matches have already been announced. So good on them. But you know them; they always throw in a whole bunch of stuff last second.
Oh no, we'll be in the chat talking pre-show. Probably that'll be last second.
Oh yeah. Of course. Yeah.
Just a clarification, real quick, for the cards, much like JPO, they have to be on the roster already. Or I'm going to add this little caveat: if you think it's a realistic signing within the next year,
okay,
you can use them.
Gotcha. So
MJF versus Cody, done.
Yeah. Well, it's not out. That one's not out of the realm of possibility. I would say that one is. I think Triple H has made some allusions that they're very much interested in MJF if they can get him. So it's out there. I know they want him. So we'll see what happens there. But yeah, that'll we'll start wrapping it up here for the Lonely Marks this week. Yeah, we'll talk our very early predictions for WrestleMania 41 a year in advance and see if we can get anything right. If I get time, I'll try to scroll back and maybe find that episode and see exactly everybody's cards. See if anybody got more than one or two things right. We'll see. I think I also had a Dominic versus Rhea Ripley in a Who's Your Mommy match. I didn't even know.
Oh, that's right.
That. Whatever that meant. But obviously that didn't happen. They're still together.
I had Dominic turning face actually with Rhea.
Okay.
But that was before he got really over as a heel. So
yeah. But let's go around and do some plugs and we'll kind of wrap everything up. Jacob, what you got going on? Anything you want to plug?
Tomorrow night tournament fights. 64 of my favorite albums from 64 of my favorite artists. So not necessarily my 64 favorite albums because there's a few guys I really like that some of their albums are all top notch. So I wanted to mix it up a little bit, so that's why I decided to go there. And then Sunday instead of Saturday, because I have a work thing. Sunday, Austin and I will be going live with a podcast about movies, talking those first 4 Disney animated classics, minus Fantasia, because we wanted to do the narrative features, not the Fantasia like concert shorts and whatnot. So I like Fantasia. It just doesn't kind of fit with those other 4.
All right. Yeah, no, that sounds good. Yeah, that might give me a little extra time to watch those movies. I watched Pinocchio the other day, but I got to get to the other 3. But luckily,
I also watched Pinocchio.
But luckily it's easy because all those movies are like 65 minutes, so very easy to squeeze into my schedule. So that certainly does not hurt. All those other movies are under 70 minutes, so that's pretty good. I think Dumbo might be the shortest one. That one's like barely like 62 minutes. I mean, that one's just like I could do that at the gym in an hour. So that I'm excited about that. Richie, what you got going on?
Are you guys gonna watch Fantasia 2000?
No.
We want to watch good ourselves.
No, we want to watch good stuff on a podcast. We don't need to torture ourselves on that show unless it's like something we have to do because of our blind rankings or something.
Okay,
like, we don't torture ourselves.
I got a multi-place match I'm filming tomorrow. I'm visiting Nazario, so check that out. I don't know when it goes up, but just keep your eye out for that. Obviously, I tournament fight, so I'm not sure when I'm on next. I know Jordan initially had me on for the one tomorrow, but I'm like, I don't know if I'm that. Yeah, we'll see. I'm not the best choice for it, but hey, I might be a pitcher.
No, it's fine. It's fine. You don't want to be there for my birthday. It's fine.
I put together your bracket yesterday, Jacob, and I've listened to way more of those albums than I thought I would have. So just out of the gate, so it helps that you have a lot of like '90s and early 2000s stuff because that's when I was heavy on music. So that definitely helps.
Well, maybe I meant it. But anyway, happy birthday to Jacob. I love you. Anyway, other than that, JPO is channel, all the other platforms really, and just Gin Trivia, and back here doing WrestleMania 41 predictions, which I'm sure will be vastly different as WrestleMania 41 takes shape around Royal Rumble time. So
JPO, what you got going on the Pierce Co. and your wrestling channels and everything in between? What you got going on?
Hey, you said over here when I'm not popping up on here from time to time. Catch me over at the Pierce Go. We're doing some trivia. We're in the middle of the tag team tournament. We're doing some drafts. I think we're doing some geeky drafts tomorrow night too, so that'll be fun. Let's see what we got. Pierce Wrestling as well. Still got some matches coming out, interviews, and we got a couple cool things live this week too. Saturday I'll be going to NXT. So maybe I'll do a quick recap of that next week if anything kind of fun happens in NXT. I believe I'm going to participate in the Q&A too, where I'll ask the whole roster, or 3 members of the roster, what kind of movies are you into? That's usually what I ask.
Well, that's the nice icebreaker. Like, not the same question they get every 2 seconds. Yeah. So sometimes they appreciate that. It's like, that or what music lately. Yeah. What music you listening to? What's your favorite karaoke song? You can ask goofy questions like that.
Was it, like it. That one dude who's with Chase U, Riley Osborne. Very much looking forward to Deadpool 3. And I was like, I like this guy. All right.
Hey, there you go.
Jordan, just on Iron Claw. I was like, all right, I like her now. I forgot what Rich Allen said, but he said something good too, actually. I like good answers. So, I'll do that. And then Sunday, you catch me live at Tampa Bay Pro Wrestling. So, if anywhere near the Tampa area in Florida, come catch me live. Maybe I'll get super kicked again. Maybe someone will suicide dive on me. Or maybe I'll be safe this time. I don't know. We'll find out Sunday.
All right. Sounds good. So
and then that actually airs on Triller, the same channel that airs all those GCW stuff, too. So, I can watch all those episodes of Triller.
Hey, there you go. I got I actually kept my 7-day thing, so I'm gonna keep watching some stuff.
It's worth it, man. GCW.
I can't deny that I I can't say that I didn't watch the Punjabi prison match that they did. I watched
yeah.
it. You know, it was
That's
a closer
right, folks.
but it was fun.
If you think he's joking, he's not. Right before the clusterfuck was a Punjabi
there was
prison
a
four-way.
Punjabi prison match after WrestleMania one night at the midnight slot. They did it. So yeah, there you go. You can catch me mostly here on the Movie Hero Network. We had some seen and heard trivia matches you can go check out the replay of. JPO was part of our April Fool's match. That was fun, talking all bad movies, a lot of bad movie clips.
Hell yeah.
Time. Richie was on there too. We were all having fun, and we just had a trivia match last night as well. So you can a tournament match, our third match in the A block. That was a great match, by the way. Really back and forth, really tight matchup. Really, really good stuff. So go check that out.
I'm in the next one. I should point out.
The next block, yeah. You're somewhere in the next block, I think. Yeah. So we'll be we're cranking those up. We should be cranking those out about one every 3 weeks or so. So we're trying to get them out there. But yeah, we got that going on. I'll be on Ryan Permison's And I Quote channel this weekend doing a little 10th anniversary watch along commentary for The Winter Soldier. So we'll be doing that on Saturday night. And then podcast about movies with myself and Jacob talking some Disney. So come check us out. That'll do it for tonight. We appreciate everybody who tunes in on the replay. Happy WrestleMania, everybody. And we'll be back next week to do some Dynasty predictions and see if we can look to the future all the way to WrestleMania 41 and see if we can predict what's going to go on. So in the meantime, for Jacob, for JPO, for Richie, have a good night and find somebody in your life that looks at you like Randy Orton looks at Cody Rhodes. Bye-bye, everybody.